preview looks quite tasty as well, so lots of things for us to talk about and go through. But we can just quickly run down the card for those that haven't heard already. We've got Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre going up against each other like face to face. So this is going to be like the first time we're seeing that since Drew won last week. Of course, he came out at SummerSlam and spoke about the main event, but we haven't seen him face-to-face with Roman since then. And Roman, first time seeing Roman since SummerSlam, since obviously that incredible encounter. I mean, the imagery in that main event at SummerSlam was just absolutely stunning, wasn't it? The ring completely kind of flipped in a way, like hoisted in the air by that tractor. It really is one of those iconic moments. I think when we talk about most iconic SummerSlam moments, I think that's absolutely worth mentioning. It really is something that I've never seen before. I know many of you have never seen before, mainly because it's never happened in WWE before. I mean, I don't think it's ever happened in wrestling before, to be honest. I can't remember ever seeing that, so such an iconic scene, such an iconic moment. So it's going to be really interesting, that segment. Then we've got the women going up against each other. 6 women competing to be the ones to take on Liv Morgan. And I've got to tell you, looking at this match, it really kind of hits home how kind of thin the women's division is on SmackDown. Like, I'm not throwing shade, but it is thin. We have not done a great job of building these women up. This match does not look like it is star-studded. Let's go through it. So, Aaliyah, right, who they've done nothing with Aaliyah, right? Do you remember when she won that match in, like, I don't know, was it 3 minutes, 16 seconds, or 16? No, not even that, was it? I can't even remember how quickly she won it. It was like 16 seconds or something. I remember she was taking the mick out of, not taking the mick, but copying Austin 316 with, like, Aaliyah 16 or something. That's it. That is the only thing I can tell you they've done with her. And even that wasn't used that much. So, Aaliyah. Shotzi. Lots of potential with Shotzi. But I think we can agree it's been very underwhelming. So, but I do think there's potential there. We've got Sonya, who is now moving back into wrestling. Obviously, she's been doing a lot of, like, GM stuff. And she has been having matches, so she is a competitor again now. She's not really doing that GM role anymore. But, again, it feels like we're just getting started with her again. Then you've got Shayna Baszler, who I think we can all agree has not been used to her full potential. But listen, this is the Triple H regime, yeah? I think Shotzi, I think, well, even Sonya, but Shayna, I think they've all got great potential. Even Aaliyah has got potential. It's just we have not seen any of that potential. And then Xia Li. And then Natalya. Fine. Natalia's fine. And then you've got Raquel Rodriguez, who only recently came up. So this is what I'm saying. Like, where's the Charlottes and the Beckys and the Biancas and the Alundra Blazes and the Litas and the Trishes? And, you know, I mean, we're like, it's great it's great that we're going to give these women an opportunity, but it does show kind of how, I don't know, how little we've been building these women up, you know? So, I don't know who I want to win that. Who do you want to win that? I'll go through it again. So, Aaliyah, Shotzi, Sonya, Shayna, Xia Li, Natalya, and Raquel. There's actually 7 women there. 7 women. It's a gauntlet match. So, obviously, the only problem with the gauntlet match is that it's always the people at the end that are going to win it. I mean, maybe if you're like 3rd from the end, you stand a good chance. But if you're 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, you ain't winning it. Or at least I ain't expecting you to win it. So, it'd have to be a hell of a performance. It'd have to be a star-making performance to win it from, like, even 3rd. So, I think a lot of people will want Shayna. I think a lot of people remember Shayna from NXT being that killer, being that fantastic NXT champion. So I think a lot of people would want her, but I don't know. Someone online was saying, why is Nikki ASH not involved? Now, I can't remember what brand she's on because she is, again, not really used. so I can't really remember. She's probably on Raw. If she was on SmackDown, I'm sure she would have been in this match. But that would have made sense because she's Scottish and we're going to the United Kingdom. So Nikki ASH getting a push would have made sense. So maybe she's going to get involved with... Well, she can't get involved with Bianca, can she? She can't get involved with Bianca because Bianca's doing that feud with Bayley. So, Just Nick, shout out to you, buds. Appreciate the support. I said, I want you to win this women's match. If anyone can beat Liv, it's wrestling days. Well, look at these moves right here. I mean, look at this. Death-defying. That's what that was. It's going to fall. Can I just say, I actually hit the side of the bed when I fall. And, God damn, it hurt. It really genuinely hurt. My vision for that clip was that I was, in my mind, I was going to turn around on the shelf, right? Because that was a pretty sturdy bookcase, right? But, I mean, as you saw, not sturdy enough. I was going to turn around on the shelf, try and hold on to, like, something to get my balance, and then do, like, what I was hoping would look like quite an impressive crossbody, right? And clearly that did not go to plan. So that's what that was. But Just Nick, shout out to you, buds. I'm not down on that match, by the way. I like the match. I like the fact we're given opportunity. But it's just, you can just see how little has been invested in the majority of women on that main roster. Like, to sit here and go, Shotzi, what have we done with her? Shayna, what have we done with her? Aaliyah, what have we done with her? Xia Li, what have we done with her? Raquel, what have we done with her? I mean, in all fairness, Raquel's quite new, so I'll let them off that one. But I thought it was just quite interesting to see that match, and it really hit home that we really haven't been doing much with these women. So we got that. So we've got Roman against Drew, a face-to-face thing. We've got that women's match. We've also got Shinsuke taking on Ludwig Klein. Is it Klein or Kaiser? Ludwig. Taking on Ludwig. And you might remember that Ludwig lost, and so he got chopped by Gunther. Then he won, but it was with Gunther's help, so he ended up getting chopped by Gunther. And now here we are with another match. And if Shinsuke wins, he gets a shot at Gunther's Intercontinental Championship. Now, Shinsuke's going to win this match. And Ludwig Kaiser's going to get chopped, right? So that's how I see it going. But I don't understand at what point is Gunther just going to lose it with Ludwig Kaiser? Like, at what point is he just going to completely disown him? Because he just makes him look like a fool, doesn't he? Like, do you know what I mean? Gunther's like this big monster. Why is he hanging around with someone that just can't get the job done? Surely Gunther should be hanging around with someone that can like do damage as well. So I don't know. I wish they weren't jobbing out Ludwig Kaiser like this. I wish he was picking up wins, but I mean, I get it. You've got to give Shinsuke something to do. But I think I'd rather have Shinsuke winning matches and then going up against Gunther. God damn, that's a big reaction, man. That's a big reaction. That was my reaction when Vince retired. Delwyn said, according to latest reports, WWE is going to hold the draft later this month or early September. I think they're going to start after Clash at the Castle. Yeah, I haven't seen that, but I did see a report ages ago saying they were going to do it before Clash at the Castle. Now, I mean, it looks like that's not going to be the case anymore. But that was kind of what I was expecting. It was going to be in between SummerSlam and Clash. Now it definitely looks like it's going to be after Clash. So, yeah, fine. Shake it up. I mean, that'll be great because it's like hitting the reset for Triple H, isn't it? That's going to be a big reset that's going to get hit. So, yeah, I'm all right with it. Adesanya against Pereira is official for UFC 281. Can I just tell you, I've got a massive B right in front of me. An actual flipping B. I mean, spraying it might have been the worst thing I could have done, because now what I've got is not just a bee. I've actually got an angry bee. So I am now trapped in a room with an angry bee. So that's an exciting start to this stream. And I'm outside as well. So, do you know what I mean? When I say trapped, I mean mentally. Delwyn, shout out to you. Hasib said, do you see Sasha or Naomi perhaps being late additions to the Gauntlet? One of the women think they've won, but Pierce comes out and announces, and thanks for the shout out earlier. Oh no, thanks for the suggestion. Yeah, thanks to everyone that's been watching and suggesting stuff for those discussion videos. They've been going really, really well, and definitely want to look to do more of those. So a big thank you for that. I think Sasha could get involved here? No. I'm going to go with no. The reason why I'm going to go with no is because when Sasha comes back, it's going to be a big moment. It's going to be like a really big, like, oh my god, Sasha's back. And I don't know that they'll do face against face like Sasha against Liv. Liv is a baby face. Would they do Sasha against Liv? I mean, you could do it, but the thing was, didn't Sasha walk out because she wanted to highlight the tag belts? So, I've got a feeling, like, if she comes back now and works against the champion, is that not what Vince wanted her to do against Bianca, and then she walked out? So, I don't know. Do you know what? Who are we to book? Who are we? We're no one. Yeah, Sasha Banks does what Sasha Banks wants to do, so don't you dare try and put her in this match if she doesn't want to be in this match, because she will be right out that door, right? Who are we? Who are we to sit here saying, oh, should we put her in? Should we not put her in? If there's one thing we've learned, Sasha will do whatever Sasha wants to do, all right? So the answer to your question is, I don't know. You need to ask Sasha Banks. Darcy, shout out to you, says Triple H, give Shayna the push and the storylines that she needs. I've got to tell you, right, Darcy, shout out to you, bud. I feel like looking at that list, I would probably go with Shotzi. Hear me out. I'd probably go with Shotzi because I think Shotzi is quite marketable. I think she's very distinctive. She's covered in tattoos. She's got the green hair. I also think she is beatable. I think Liv could beat Shotzi, right? I don't want to see Liv beat Shayna, right? Because Shayna was in the UFC. Granted, she's not a UFC Hall of Famer, right? But she was in the UFC, and she's had a fight. She's got to the point in martial arts, not where she's gone and done it for fun. She's got to the UFC and had a fight against Amanda Nunes, right? So Shayna Baszler, whatever you think about her, has got skills. Yeah, she's got skills. So, I mean, the only thing I'd say is that on the main roster, she has been booked horribly. So, actually, right now, you probably could believe Liv beating Shayna, but under this new regime, I would much rather see Shayna win. I would much rather Shayna get the victory if she's going to win this and go to Clash at the Castle. I am really not sure that they are going to take that belt off Liv. So, I'm thinking maybe Shotzi goes to Clash at the Castle. We get Liv versus Shotzi. It's a nice opportunity for Shotzi. It's a winnable match for Liv. And then maybe we do give Shayna the opportunity, but just a little further down the road. Maybe when it's time, or they feel it's time to take the belt off Liv. Maybe Shayna could be the one that gets the title and gets the booking that you're talking about. I just don't know that they're going to have Shayna win this, go to Clash, and win at Clash. I don't know. Are we confident that Liv is going to drop the title at Clash? Because I'm not. I'm not confident in that. I'm thinking there's a really good chance she's going to retain. So if she's going to retain, let's do it against someone like a Shotzi, like I don't know. Is Liv beating Raquel Rodriguez believable? I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. You see, Liv to me feels like she could get wins over Natalya. I think she could get wins over Shotzi. I think she can get wins over Xia Li, but oh my god, Raquel Rodriguez, Shayna Baszler, Ronda Rousey. I mean, I don't see Liv at that level. I don't see Liv at that level. And the finishes like what we got at flipping SummerSlam ain't helping. They don't help, right? So I don't know. I don't know if I want Shayna, because I've got a feeling Liv's going to retain. Edward said, what if Shayna wins tonight? Ronda comes back at Clash, and then that sets up their feuds. Yeah, you could do it that way. I mean, at least that way it protects Shayna. It keeps the belt on Liv. It protects Shayna. It starts the Ronda-Shayna feud. So you could go that way. I mean, lucky Liv. That's all I would say. Liv will have survived again. And again, you know, I don't know. I don't know if this is building her up to be a good champion. It's certainly building her up to be a lucky champion. So you could go that way. Brenton says, shout out to you. Hope you are well. I've got an interesting Mattel fact for you, but I'm going to put it in another comment. Oh, you tease. What a tease. Hazza says, what if Carrion comes back to WWE? There's big reports that he is. I really do hope Hunter brings his NXT gimmick. I enjoyed that, especially if we have Scarlett. Yes. If he comes back, you've got to bring him back like the NXT gimmick with Scarlett, big entrance, you know, all of the smoke and mirrors and everything that was going on. Absolutely 100%. No more kinky cross. Shotzi does keep complaining that she's been screwed out of title matches. She could get it here and then lose, says Austin. I haven't seen her complaining about that, actually, but yes, that is a ready-made story then. Do you think we'll get Bianca versus Liv at Survivor Series? God. When's Survivor Series? That, like, November? And it's what? Early August? She's got to hold that belt a while. No. How are you going to get through to Survivor Series? How is Liv going to avoid the big names unless they're just going to do everything they can to keep the big names away? Or unless she starts beating big names, but I don't know. I mean, look, maybe I see Liv different to other people. I see Liv as someone that works hard. I see her as a hard worker, someone that deserves respect, someone that's been grinding and working for a long time now, been in NXT, put the work in, been on the main roster for a good number of years, putting the work in, doing house shows, living the life, not cutting corners. Like, this is not about Liv and, like, respecting her and all that kind of stuff. This is about her grinding away, climbing the mountain, working hard. To me, in her progression, it felt like she'd got about halfway up the mountain. Yeah? When she first got to the main roster, she was at the bottom of the mountain. I thought they called her up way too soon. We hadn't seen much from her in NXT, and what we had seen had not been brilliant, right? So, for me, when she got to the main roster with Riot Squad, she would been brought up that way because the other two girls were the wrestlers. They were the wrestlers. She was the pretty one. She had loads of potential, but it was going to take a long time to realize that potential. And she's worked hard. No shade. Zero shade. Maximum respect, right? Maximum respect. Let's get that message out there, yeah? Hard working. For me, she'd got about halfway up the mountain. Keep going, keep picking up wins, keep, grinding, and eventually, absolutely get to that championship. For some reason, they fast-tracked her, right? And I know it doesn't seem like they fast-tracked her, but in my impression of Liv, they fast-tracked her. Like, in my mind, she's a mid-carder. In my mind, she's, about the same as, I don't know, maybe a Raquel Rodriguez. Like, if Liv did get a win over Raquel Rodriguez, then I'd be able to buy it. I would think it would be a very good win, actually, because I know Raquel Rodriguez as being Raquel Gonzalez from NXT, who's a very good wrestler and had a very dominant run. So I know that she's very credible. But, it's one thing to do it in NXT. It's a different thing to do it on the main roster. So in my mind, like, I see her kind of being able to beat Natalya, being able to beat Xia Li, being able to beat Aaliyah. She can deal with that. Her against Raquel Rodriguez, competitive. I really don't know which way it would go, but if Liv won it, I wouldn't be upset. But for me, she's halfway up that mountain. She's starting now to try and get into that main event scene. She had a title match at day 1. I think it was against Becky, and that feels like it might have been her first opportunity. And that was in January. So it felt like she was knocking on the door now of trying to get into the main event scene. And we fast-tracked her. I mean, we did fast-track her. She won Money in the Bank, cashed in the same night, cashed in on an injured Ronda, whatever. And now she's got the belt. Well, how is she going to get past the likes of Becky, Bayley, Charlotte, Sasha, Shayna, Ronda, if that match happens to get... Like, there really does feel like there's a good chunk of women that are, in my mind, ahead of her, better than her, that should be able to beat her. How are we gonna navigate that and keep that belt on her till Survivor Series? I don't know. The booking of this is really interesting to me, and they're doing loads of stuff here I wouldn't do. I have no problem with her winning Money in the Bank. If I was booking this, she wouldn't even have cashed that in yet. She would not have cashed that in. What she would be doing is she'd be picking up some really good wins, getting into a few feuds. She would be maybe feuding with a Bayley, and she'd be having some really good matches, maybe falling short, and then the end of the feud ends with her winning. Like, she keeps, like, falling short, and then she finally beats Bayley, and it feels like a massive tick in the box. Like, that feels like a big moment. She beats Bayley clean after losing to Bayley repeatedly. And I think the message that sends out is Liv has arrived. Liv can hang. Liv is at this level. I don't feel she ever really got that moment. I don't think she ever got that moment. She fast-tracked her way to the top, cashed in the Money in the Bank, and now here she is. Do you know what I mean? Like, going up against killers, potentially. Ronda, maybe Shayna. So, I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll see how it goes. I'm thinking, how do you book this? I'm thinking, put Shotzi in it, have a really good match, tell them to, tear the castle down, steal the show, have a great match, but Liv goes over, and then we do Shayna further down the road. But I don't know how long we're going to be able to keep the killers away from the door. Hayden says, how are you doing? I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm feeling good. We've obviously got a nice weekend coming up. Football is back as well. Not for us, but it is back. First Premier League game today. So Arsenal winning 2-0 against Crystal Palace. So it's nice to have the football back. See how Man United... I'm really looking forward to Man United winning the league. So Man United winning the league, Ronaldo being top scorer, Man United winning the Champions League. I mean, it's going to be England winning the World Cup. It's going to be a fantastic season in the football. And then in the wrestling, we've obviously building our way now towards a very special show. Very special show. And a show that I think, don't quote me on this, I think we should be able to do because it's in the UK. So, I mean, UFC, as long as that's on at night, at 11, 12 at night, Clash at the Castle is not going to be on at that time, UK time. That's going to start at 5, 6. We should be able to do Clash and then do UFC after. So, Clash is one that I am looking at as hopefully being able to do. So, exciting. Haven't done the past couple pay-per-views because WWE thought it would be a good idea to go up against the UFC on a Saturday, and not even small UFC shows, just the biggest ones. Just the biggest ones. Just the biggest ones you could go up against. So, hopefully we can do Clash, though. Israel against Alex has been announced for UFC 281. What do you think about it? I think it's the fight to make. I think that it is Adesanya all day long. I think Alex Pereira is a wonderful fighter, great striker. He has beaten Adesanya twice in kickboxing, but MMA is a much more well-rounded game. I think that Adesanya will stay on the outside. I think when Pereira comes in to close the gap, Adesanya's going to grab him. He's going to look to take him down. I think you're going to see Adesanya go into his wrestling and his grappling. I think Pereira is going to struggle in those areas. I mean, Pereira is just a killer striker. Very exciting, very deadly, and he could absolutely catch Adesanya. But I just think surely Adesanya's got too many skills now, too well-rounded, and I am expecting it to be Adesanya getting the win. I don't know who opens as favourite. I would imagine Adesanya. Surely the champ. Surely. He's been in there with Anderson Silva. He's been in there with absolute killers. Whittaker twice. So as great as Pereira is with his striking, I'm saying is a bit one-dimensional, and I feel like it's going to grab people's attention because he's beaten Adesanya in kickboxing a couple of times, but this ain't kickboxing. So I'm going to go with Adesanya. United We Love said, why did WWE want to keep the belt on Liv? If we're here and we can name women that could beat Liv, surely we want believable and legit champion. Well, yes. Really, you want a champion that's the rightful champion, but the way that pro wrestling obviously works is, the person that is the deadliest killer is not always the champion. If you was to do like a proper fight, then would Roman win or would Brock win? So the deadliest killer is not always always the champion. The thing with Liv is that she's got popularity. That's why whenever you say anything slightly critical, you always have to be like, I'm not having a go, right? Because you don't want to upset people, but you still want to make your point of how you feel and how you perceive her. And I don't think I'm alone in perceiving her that way, that she's very skilled, absolutely deserves opportunity and eventually the title. But for me, just got it, 6 months too soon. And that match against Ronda, I said it in my review, let's see how it goes. Let's see how they play this out. Because she did tap first. So she tapped first. In my opinion, she should surrender the title. I think that is it's a good way of getting the belt off of her, and her kind of having her dignity, her integrity, all this kind of stuff. She's worked so hard to get the belt. I really like the idea and the story that she's now gonna work just as hard to keep it, but she wants to do it all the right way. She went the right way about getting it. And so now she's champ, she's going to go the right way about keeping it. And I like that story personally. And I would book that story. And her losing the title, the Liv fans would be gutted, of course. But the money is in the chase. Yeah? If she drops the title, all you're doing is you're setting up another moment in the future where she gets it back. That moment where she finally grabs the title, only this time in a proper match against a not injured opponent at maybe WrestleMania. You can't set that moment up unless she drops the belt. So I feel like this was a lovely opportunity for her to drop the belt, and then you can have her be down, disappointed, I had to do the right thing. I did tap first. I want my fans to be able to believe in me type thing. Blah, 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 right? I feel that absolutely fits her character. You drop the belt. Liv fans don't like that idea. Get over it. Because down the road, all you're doing is setting up the moment she gets it back against a credible opponent on a big stage. And it's going to be a WrestleMania moment. And then there you go. You can celebrate, right? But you can't have the good times unless you go through some bad times. And for me, that's the story that I would have told. Now, they're not doing that, clearly, but all they're doing is they're going, la, 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 la. They're just ignoring it. They're ignoring that she tapped first. They're going down the ref's decision is final kind of path, which is fine. That's the story they want to tell. But I don't think that does anything for Liv. That doesn't make this title reign credible. Because I'm sitting here going, well, she ain't really champ, is she? Because she tapped first. So, yeah, all right, she's got past Ronda, and Ronda's now gone and got herself suspended. But it doesn't do it. That does not benefit Liv. All it does is it keeps the belt on Liv. She didn't drop it at SummerSlam. She got past SummerSlam. That's all it's done. It has not made her a legitimate champion. So that's why I'm saying I think that would you now book a screwy finish for Clash at the Castle? I feel like Liv needs a win. As champion, she needs a win. So I think that's why I would book Shotzi. Because I think Shotzi is very marketable. She's got, as I said, the green hair, covered in tattoos. But she is someone that I can believe Liv getting a win over. And I think at this stage in Liv's title reign, if we are keeping the belt on her, then give her a flipping clean win. Give her a clean win. Because she can't keep, do you know what I mean, just getting by on the skin of her teeth. So that's my thoughts on this gauntlet match. But it, again, absolutely might not go that way. It really depends on what WWE want to do. And maybe WWE feel now's the time to take the belt off Liv. Perhaps they wanted to get past the Ronda match because they want to get it onto Shayna. I don't know. I don't know what Triple H is thinking. I don't know what he's thinking. We'll find out. We'll get a good idea tonight. And it'll be... I'm quite excited for it because that feels like a big step forward. You know, we are now going to find out who is facing Liv at Clash at the Castle. And we're finding that out tonight. So we can start going and speculating about, will they change the title? Will someone get involved? But it's hard to do that when you don't know which of the 7 women it's going to be. Liv versus Shayna is a very different match to Liv versus Natalya, isn't it? Liv versus Natalya, Liv wins. Liv versus Shayna, don't know. Don't know. How about if Shayna does win at Clash at the Castle, Ronda comes down, goes to congratulate her friend, and beats her up? How about Ronda gets involved after Shayna has won? And maybe Ronda could be like, the reason why I've attacked, or the reason why I, turned on my friend is because she knows that's my belt. She knows that I won that belt at SummerSlam. And now she's come along and she's taken what's rightfully mine. That's a good story as well. Sets up Shayna Ronda. I mean, I know it doesn't do much for Liv, but what it does do for Liv is it gets the belt off her to set up a big moment in the future. But that could set up Shayna Ronda, and that would be interesting. Look at this on the spot booking. I swear to God, all these ideas that we're all having, WWE are sat there right now going, they're saying what? What they're saying? Right, let's get that down. That's good. I like that one. Brenton says, yep, we can do that, Brenton. Let's get that down. I'm telling you, WWE, I know you're there. I can't answer why it says Paul Heyman on screen. I can't tell you that. If WWE are watching, that was not a mistake. I was testing you to see if you was paying attention. The UFC thing you're talking about is in Paris. The UFC thing you're talking about is in Paris. What's that? The one that goes up against Clash. You can't do Clash and UFC. UFC is in Paris. It's Tuivasa against Whitaker. Oh, so is the time about the same, is it? God damn WWE. You would, wouldn't you? Of course they would. Of course, when they come over to the UK, it's going to be that the UFC's in the Europe at the same time. James said, Liv and Bliss, similar size, but is that it? Liv and Bliss, similar size, but is that it? What do you mean? I would think Alexa's a bit smaller, actually. I think that Alexa has got more experience. She's, a 5-time champion or something? So she is someone that I think you can really believe in being a champion. The thing with Alexa, she's been away from that title for so long now that, Alexa Ronda wins. Alexa Shayna, interesting match, to be honest. And certainly now that Triple H is in charge. I think Alexa Liv, this might be controversial, but I could believe Liv going over Alexa. I could believe Liv beating Alexa. She'd be a good opponent, actually. because of her size, I can believe that she is beatable. But the thing with Alexa is we've seen her in some really good matches, defending her championship, winning championships, and she's always been positioned as being someone on that kind of Bayley, Becky, Charlotte-ish level. You know, she's always kind of been around. For me, Alexa is ahead of Liv, but Liv has got the potential to overtake Alexa. But in my opinion, she's not quite there yet. But if they were to have a match at Clash at the Castle and Liv was to win, I could buy it. I think that's a really interesting matchup, actually. I'd like to see that. If you look at WWE's recent Instagram post, it's a video of Shayna ripping Liv's picture into 4 pieces. Is that a tease of what's to come? No. I would never look at Instagram as a tease of what's to come. I think by and large, they put out a lot of content. If you think about the amount of content that goes onto YouTube, that goes onto Instagram, that goes onto social media, I would never look at that stuff as a tease. There's so many people. I mean, how many people got excited because The Fiend was shown in a video on YouTube, Roman's greatest wins or something, before SummerSlam? And so I had loads of people sending me screenshots saying, oh my God, they've just shown The Fiend on a video on YouTube. Does this mean he's coming to SummerSlam? And my reaction was no. I think the people that run social media are kept kind of out of the loop of any kind of creative, and they're certainly not told The Fiend is coming back. No, I mean, come on. With leaks and, like, you know, the amount of, on a need-to-know basis, you really think they're going to have gone to someone in social media and told them about these big returns? Like, most of the time, even the wrestlers on the show don't even know that people are coming back. Like, it's so hush-hush. Like, they are literally in a car, brought into the building, put straight into a trailer, under a blanket, kind of... Do you remember the Hardys when they came back to, like, WrestleMania 33? Proper, like, under towels, under blankets, being shepherded into a trailer so they weren't seen by anyone. And, like, a lot of the wrestlers didn't even know that the Hardys were coming back because it needs to be on a need-to-know basis. And when I say need-to-know, that does not include social media. Social media will react. They can react to the moment, but setting things up for teasers, unless it's something that they specifically want to do, and it's something that they feel is going to be of benefit of doing that, then maybe. But they wouldn't do it for, like, a Fiend return, and they wouldn't do it for, like, they didn't do it for the Hardys return. And I don't believe they'll do it for this match either, to be honest. I think that, you know, if I work for the social media team and I know that this match has been announced, I would then be putting out stuff that involved these competitors. I would be putting out things to get people talking and generate a bit of buzz and fuel those thoughts as well. Like, get people saying, oh my God, such and such. Like, they know what they're doing. They just don't know what's going to happen. So, no, I don't think it's connected, to be honest. You've probably been asked this many times. Do you think Johnny will come back? I do. I think if he does come back, Triple H will push him directly into a title feud. I don't know. I don't know on that. I mean, I think you could do him and Tommaso being a tag team for a while. I think that he's not the biggest, and a lot of people on the main roster won't know who he is. So I've got a feeling that it might take him some time, to be honest, to get to a title. It might take him some time just because I think you've got to introduce him. Just because we know who he was and we've seen him in NXT doesn't mean that the kids have, or the people that only watch Raw or SmackDown have. There's a lot of people that might not have had, like, the network, that just watch, like, you know, Raw, SmackDown once in a while, kind of those casual fans. I would imagine a lot of the hardcores will. The hardcores would know who he is, but I don't know how quick they'll move to the title. Who do you want to return? I would like Scotty 2 Hottie, the cat people like that, and in the Rumble, I say Jimmy Wang Yang. Who do I want to return? I want AJ Lee. That's who I want to return. We spoke about it before. I'd love to see AJ Lee come back, but don't think it's going to happen. Thoughts on Ric Flair having a match in Puerto Rico? I've not seen that reported, to be honest. I've seen him saying that he's going to be in Puerto Rico, but I've not seen him saying he's going to have a match. So I don't know that he is. I think that he's had his last match, I think. He could just be going to Puerto Rico. Mattel almost went bankrupt in the 80s. They spent $400 million getting into video games, and then the video game industry crashed in 1983. A financer said Barbie shouldn't go bankrupt and saved them. Good fact. I tweeted you earlier a clip of Kamala slamming Andre. I've seen that clip. I never saw that clip earlier. I've seen it before. There was a few people that slammed Andre. It's kind of always believed, you know what wrestling's like. They tell you what they want you to know and what they want you to think. So, you know, that idea that Andre had never been slammed at WrestleMania 3 was, ridiculous, because Hogan had slammed him before. But I think, like, Kamala had slammed him. I think Stan Hansen, I believe, had slammed him as well. Antonio Inoki had slammed him. I think there was a few. It was really like if he believed in you and trusted in you, and it was kind of like an honor, really. It was really the biggest honor that Andre could give you, was, I'm going to let you slam me. Because he needed to give permission, basically. You weren't doing it without his cooperation, let's put it that way. There ain't no one that's going up to Andre and just scooping him up if he doesn't want to be slammed. So with his, obviously, cooperation, it was kind of like something that he would do. But yeah, it's cool that he gave that to Kamala. Really cool. Shame they didn't use it. They never shouted about it on WWE, because I don't know that it happened in WWE, to be honest. So I like Shotzi, but she's a jobber. Putting her in a massive stadium is asking people to sit in silence, twiddle their thumbs. It's not a strong match. Well, you think that, and you say that, but she is someone that has got great potential, and you just haven't seen it. I mean, you've got to remember that Vince just wasn't really that bothered about her, and so we just haven't really seen much of her. But I think that if you build up like a really... we've got weeks to do a build, so you could do something really heated between Liv and Shotzi, get a good story going. And, I don't know if you bring back the tank. I mean, imagine if Shotzi comes out in a big tank. She used to drive in that tank, didn't she? And she used to do that down in NXT as well. So the whole presentation of Shotzi could change. And, you could give her some matches, show that she can do some stuff in the ring, because she's all right in the ring. Certainly I wouldn't be booking that match with people sitting in silence. Plus, I doubt they would, because Liv alone has got loads of fans. But I just think that you need Liv. If you're going to have Liv as champion for a while, she's got to win matches clean. She needs to get like some wins at pay-per-views. If we are building her and going all the way to Survivor Series, then I don't want to see her going over Shayna Baszler, right? That's not what I want to see. So I'd much rather see her going over a Shotzi or going over a Raquel. You could do Raquel against Liv. But either way, you've got to remember, this is the Triple H regime. This is the Triple H era. So any kind of preconceptions you have about people, you might want to park them for a little while, because their presentation and everything could be about to drastically change. United We Love said, it's up to Liv fans if they want to be happy with this, fine, or would they rather have Becky or Daniel Bryan Mania moment? It's up to them. Says United We Love. Izzy winning 100%, says Notorious Nightmare. Izzy got robbed in the first, even Wonderboy said, and in the second got caught but rocked Alex with a standing 8, and now it's MMA where Izzy can follow through with smaller gloves. Harley Race, Wild Samoans, multiple New Japan. What, that slammed him? Is that what Harley Race? I don't know. I never... Harley Race I would have said, but Wild Samoans I wouldn't have said, if that's what we're talking about. Interesting, though. If Lacey Evans was in tonight's match, do you think she would have won? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no just because she is a heel. I think Liv would beat her, but I don't know. Would you give her a loss at pay? I feel like with Lacey Evans, we're literally just getting started on a new. We had weeks of her telling her those sob stories, right? Then she comes out and like the fans give her a bad reaction, so she starts like turning on the fans. Like it feels like really this would be, if she went to Clash, it would be her first proper match. So for her to have her first proper match and then lose, I suppose she could say it was the fans that put her off. So I suppose you could go that way and say it was the fans. And actually, she is hated. So, you know, that would be good for Liv. Because Liv's just had to go up against Ronda, who's a face. And I think the crowds were probably largely on Liv's side. But there was definitely people like myself that wanted Ronda. So I think putting Liv in there against someone like Lacey Evans, who's universally hated, who is a heel, I think that would be good for Liv. And she could win that. And I suppose Lacey could turn around and say it was the fans that put her off, threw her off. So my first reaction was no, because this will be her first match. Do you really want Lacey losing that? But a little bit more thought, and I think you could make it work. So I'm going to say good suggestion. That's what I'm going to say. Good suggestion. There you go. I've given you the kids. Me Not You says, Shotzi needs the tank and a face turn, and Shayna needs to start and run through them all like Elimination Chamber. Tegan come back, maybe teams with Shotzi in a tag team reunion. Edward said, did you like my recommendation of 10 wrestlers winners of the Rumble? I did. I just felt it was a bit early. I think doing anything to do with the Rumble now, I don't know, I could be wrong, but I'm not sure that it's really on anyone's radar. I think we've got so much stuff to go through that I feel like that's a good suggestion, but one that you'd probably want to do in January. I mean, maybe end of December time. So it's an idea that can be parked. So, but it was good. Miguel said, spoiler alert, Roman's next challenger is Gunther or Bobby Lashley. Brenton said, I got the Mattel fact from a podcast I listened to. It talks about certain aspects of life impacted by technology. Episodes include film, photography, video games. Trailblazers with Walter Isaacson. Primo said, could you imagine if WWE books a finish with Shayna having a guillotine on Liv, but Liv flips over, Liv passes out, but the ref doesn't see, Shayna gets pinned and wins by the skin of her teeth again. Darcy, if Sasha and Naomi come back, do they bring them back with the titles, or do you do the tournament? I bring them back with the titles. And just kind of move on, to be honest. I mean, you could have Sasha, I think we spoke about it before, you could have Sasha come out and say, we're back, no need for a tournament, ladies, the champs are here, and that's it, done, dealt with. So I would have Sasha, Naomi as the champs, and just carry on with it. I understand that a women's tag tournament could be interesting, and you could still do one, but only this time, rather than crowning champs, you're crowning number one contenders. But, no, I feel like if you take the belts off Sasha and Naomi, then you are basically reminding everyone of what they did. And I think if they are coming back, I think they've been punished because they've had a good few months, to my knowledge, not being paid, sitting on the sidelines, suspension, really. So they walked out. Their punishment was they were suspended for, 2-3 months. Fine, right? And I think they come back now and we move on. But I think if you have them, release the tag titles, I think you're kind of reminding everyone, because all of a sudden then anyone that hadn't heard or has just come back into wrestling because of Vince retiring, you are telling them that these women walked out, basically. They walked out, they didn't turn up to a show, and so we've got to take the belts off them. And I just don't think you want to dig all that up. I think that if they come back, let's just keep the belts on them, move forward. And if you want to do the women's tournament, do it. But the winners get a shot at the title rather than become champs. When is Rick Boogs returning? Oh, I've not heard anything on Rick Boogs, but I am a big fan of his. And I'm looking forward to him coming back. But I think, wasn't it like an ACL? And that is months and months and months. So I'm not expecting him back anytime soon, to be honest. Did you see Duke and Shafir are coming back at some point? Do you see Duke and Shafir coming back? I don't, only because Marina Shafir is in AEW. And so I don't know what her contract looks like. I mean, I suppose there is a chance that she could... I suppose there is a chance that she could come back now that Triple H is in charge. And we could do the four horsewomen thing. That was something that, we've definitely missed out on, and definitely something that we needed to do, but I don't even know if Jessamine Duke is doing wrestling anymore, and as we said, Marina Shafir's under an AEW contract, so we'll have to see, won't we? We'll have to see. I suppose never say never, but I can't see it in the immediate future. Let's put it that way. Cross would be a good amount signed per appearances deal, so Cross could come back anytime. Did you hear Meltzer talk about how Warner Brothers have slashed shows trying to save money? He said AEW won't be cancelled, but it will be hard trying to get the big lucrative deal. Maybe it's going to be hard for everyone. Maybe it'll be hard for WWE. I mean, it is a concern, surely, to watch the ratings continually go down. I mean, granted, they've stayed kind of where they are for a little while now, AEW 900,000, Raw 1.5, 1.8. Yes, it did 2.2 or 2 point whatever on Monday. That's obviously because of the Triple H effect. It's going to settle back down again. I can't imagine that it's going to stick at 2 point whatever. I would imagine it goes back down to like 1 point something. But they've kind of stuck at that level for a long time, SmackDown 2.2. I mean, it could do a nice little boost tonight, actually, because this is the first SmackDown. So we could see a little lift tonight. But the TV ratings have gone down from where they were, go back 5 years, 10 years, because obviously there's more options now. You've got YouTube that's exploded, you've got TikTok that's exploded, you've got Fortnite and video games. There's so much stuff. I mean, catch up, Netflix, so much stuff that... it's just harder than ever to get people's attention. So I think these big lucrative deals, you do wonder as to, where's the money coming from for those? Because I know it's coming from the advertisers, but the advertisers have got so many options as to where to advertise. You know what I mean? They can advertise in so many different places. Are they really paying a premium to be attached to Raw and SmackDown? Maybe they are. Maybe these shows are still, big drawers if you look at the whole market. But I don't know. It's going in that direction, isn't it? It's going down, the ratings. I don't see the ratings going up. I see them staying the same or dipping back down. The whole Triple H stuff is interesting because that could see a little temporary lift. But I think once people have got an idea of what Triple H is all about, that'll level off and start to go down again. And it's I don't know, man. These big lucrative TV deals, they ain't sustainable. They're not sustainable. They're not going to be around in the future. Who knows? Maybe Vince knows that, and maybe that's why there's been all these rumors of selling. Because really, maybe the future for WWE is to go on a streaming service and be a big driver for subscriptions to a certain, service. Maybe if it went on to Paramount or something or whatever, Peacock, Raw and SmackDown, and then maybe Peacock could make its money from all the wrestling fans that would subscribe to their service, and so it makes money that way. I don't know. It's hard to know what the future of television is and all of that. I mean, it's mental, isn't it? It's mental. What is the future of TV? What's the future of these lucrative deals? I mean, we've just seen that Batgirl film get axed. That's been big news over here. That film, I mean, it's very unusual for a big budget movie like that to not make it to the cinemas and just get canned. Apparently the early viewings were not very favourable, and so they decided to not release it. I mean, like, I'm under the impression there was money reasons involved for that. So, yeah, it's a very interesting time. Very interesting time. Sort of feels like what the music industry went through and still continues to go through. You know, when Spotify emerged and all of that. So when the music industry used to be CDs, cassette tapes, and then, you know, where are we now? We're streaming services and a rebirth of vinyl. I mean, yeah, there's still CDs out there, and it's still probably one of the biggest, you know, sellers, but it's not as it was. I mean, the CD market has massively declined, but records have come back. It's really weird. So, like, the music industry's gone through this big change, and it feels like how we watch TV and everything has gone through a big change as well. But the bottom line is, where's the money coming from for these big TV deals? It is not sustainable. It's not something that can continue forever, because unless you can get onto a streaming platform or something, what does the future of TV look like? It's really interesting. If you had 2014 Brock and this current Roman, who do you think WWE would book to win? Goddamn. I'd have to think 2014 Brock. It depends what month. As mental as that sounds, it depends what month. If it's before he beats the streak in 2014, maybe Roman wins. If it's after he beats the streak, I think Brock wins. I think as soon as Brock beats the streak in 2014, he's the guy. And he absolutely decimates John Cena at SummerSlam. I mean, he could not have beaten him worse. It was destruction. It was kind of very one-sided. It's one of the weirdest main events you'll ever see. It is a dissection. That's what it is. He dissects John Cena at SummerSlam in 2014. So I'll go that way. I'll say that before WrestleMania, Roman. After WrestleMania, if Brock beats Undertaker, which is what happens, I think they're all on board the Brock train. Do you think we get Sasha or Naomi returning tonight? Any surprises? I am going to say no. There's been no rumours that they're coming back tonight. There's rumours they're coming back, and there was a lot of excitement around Raw. It does make more sense that they would be on SmackDown, and I think Triple H might want to keep those good vibes going. So there is absolutely a chance, but I'm going to say that it's like a 30% chance. I'm going to say it's more unlikely than likely, just because I've heard nothing since Monday, really. I haven't heard anything about like the Sasha and Naomi thing. If anything, the news today was about Karrion Kross. So nothing on Sasha and Naomi. So I'm leaning more towards no. If they do come out, it will be a surprise. But it is rumoured they're coming back. So it could happen. It could happen. That's why I'm about 30%. 30, 35, kind of around, I could be around that kind of ballpark. So, Eric said, a gallon of petrol on me. Is that about 3 litres? I don't know. What a gallon? I don't know. I have never looked into it, to be honest. I don't know what a gallon... I'll find out for you right now. We are literally just moments away. It is 4.5 litres. So, it's an extra 1.5 litres than what you thought. So, thank you for that. Appreciate the support, Eric. Root Beer Float said, the new Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie cartoon that came out on Netflix. Will you watch it? Good, go, ninja, ninja, go. No. I won't watch it. I liked the Turtles when I was young. And, like, I saw the Turtles movie. I used to watch the cartoons and everything. But to be honest, I haven't. That's not a fandom that I've kind of kept up with. I do like the NECA figures, though. They've got these figures that are based on the cartoon, and they're so good. Like, the figures actually look like they've been plucked out of a cartoon. Like, they've got, like, black lines drawn on them to kind of emphasize the muscles. you know, like you would if you was drawing a cartoon. And they've put that onto the figures, and they look fantastic. I keep looking at that line thinking, I wish they would do a WWE line like that. I wish they'd do figures in WWE that were, like, based on a cartoon. Why don't they do a WWE cartoon? We had the rock and wrestling one in the 80s. Gotta think that would do well in the modern day, you would think, for the kids. Fun little thing with Roman and everyone, and updated rock and wrestling. So yeah, I look at that and I keep going, they're cool. But nah, any new films or anything I can't say is high on my priority list. We are over to Smackdown, and we are, of course, starting with footage of SummerSlam. How freaking long have the Ninja Turtles been teenagers? Great question. Great question, and something is very suspect about that. How long has Bart Simpson been a 12-year-old boy? That's something else that's suspect. If you were a Turtle fan, then you, as much as I, must hate what Michael Bay did to the movies. They angered me, said Master Chief. To be honest, the movies I watched were the ones in the early 90s, when I was young. So I watched the cartoon, I watched the films, I went to the cinema, watched them, saw the Turtles on the big screen, had a nice day out, never thought about it again, really. So I can't say that I've sat and like really studied them or revisited them. I will never claim to be the biggest Turtle fan, but because I was into them as a kid, there is a warmth, there is a nostalgia. I want to get the Cowabunga collection, the video game collection, because I did have some of the games when I was young as well. So there is definitely an appreciation, a love, if you will. But it's just not something that I've kind of kept up with. It's the same with Masters of the Universe and all of that. I used to watch that as a kid, but I never kept up with that, to the point now where I can't even remember a lot of the characters. So you keep seeing all these like re-released figures and everything, and you know, all of that, but never kept up with it, so it doesn't really do anything for me. But I've still got an appreciation for it. Michael Bay barely did anything with the Turtles. I feel like we have stumbled now into a very hot topic. Did Michael Bay, did he mess up the Turtle franchise? That is today's question. Michael Bay, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum. Meltzer did say AEW is expecting big money renewal because they blew Warner Media's expectations at the start. The money will determine AEW's profitability and trying to outbid WWE for big names. Esteban said, you say Ninja Turtles or Hero Turtles? I don't know. I mean, I say Ninja Turtles. I don't know what Turtle fans would say. I don't know what the correct etiquette is, but I say Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I can see both working, to be honest. I don't know what was used where. I don't know which was... I don't know who was a hero and who was a ninja. Was it like hero in Europe, ninja in America or something? I did not expect this conversation, let me tell you. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are old teenagers like Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite. Do not look up Donatello Get Screwed on YouTube. You can't look away. Well, don't worry, I won't look it up. I'm going to heed your advice. Right, we've got the Usos arriving. We've got an ambulance backstage, but that's probably not a surprise. Ah, oh, look at that. No wonder I'm freaking out. It's the tribal chief. Let's go. So Roman is here. The Usos are here. We're seeing them arrive. That's cool, isn't it? It's a nice moment. If Shotzi wins and Liv beats her at Clash and get Shayna Liv maybe at Extreme Rules, I think in Extreme Rules and Liv retains, says Mr. Mercedes Spiteful. So Roman and Usos arrive. Roman Reigns addresses Drew McIntyre. Do you think Roman will only drop one title to Drew? I don't know, to be honest. I mean, if there's only one title on the line, if it's just for the WWE Championship, I think he drops it. So if there's anything that he says, I don't think you're worthy of both titles, I'm going to put my WWE one on the line, but you ain't having the Universal. If there's a conversation like that, I think Drew wins it. Do you think Adam Cole and the rest of Undisputed Elite would come back now that Triple H is in charge? I don't think so. The Young Bucks are obviously in charge of AEW, or they do play a big part in AEW. So I can't see the Young Bucks leaving. Of course, Cody did, but I can't see the Young Bucks doing that. Cody was been in WWE before. Young Bucks haven't. I feel like Cody had got a way back, but I don't know that the Young Bucks have a way back, so they've never been there. So I feel like the Young Bucks are going to stay. I think if the Young Bucks stay, then I think Adam Cole's going to stay. Because as he said in his speech the other day, he's always been with them. Like, he was with them, kind of Ring of Honor. He was with them, New Japan. He's with them now in AEW. There'd have to be a real breakdown for him to turn around to them and say, I'm off. So I could see him now with Britt, kind of. Because if you lose Adam Cole, are you going to lose Britt as well? I just can't see the Young Bucks leaving. I can't see Adam Cole leaving the Bucks. I can't see Adam Cole leaving Britt Baker. So it's a nice change in WWE to have Triple H in charge, but I don't think it results in a load of people coming back. As much as I love Drew, said Mr. Channel, I thought he was not popular enough to regain a major title. Well, you got to remember, that crowd at Clash at the Castle are going to be right with him. Drew is going to be the babyface. Roman's going to be the heel. There's plenty of people that think that Roman's title reign has gone on too long anyway. And then add in the fact that there'll be plenty of Scottish people inside that stadium. It's going to be home support, even though it's in Wales, for Drew. And you could do it. This is the biggest show in the UK for 30 years. So you might want to give the crowd something. So we'll have to wait and see. We've just got people laughing at the whole locker room, laughing at Corbin. How about I wipe that smile off your face, says Corbin to Ricochet. How about we kick off Smackdown? Looks like we might be going over to Ricochet and Corbin. Okay, so they were laughing at Corbin. Let's go over to the chat. Would Roman do reverse Jericho and de-unify the wrestling? 2 title matches in one night and lose to each different wrestler? I mean, I wouldn't go that way. I think that you can absolutely have him lose like a title at Clash at the Castle, but I think for him to lose 2 titles at Clash at the Castle in 2 separate matches, like, I don't know, I wouldn't go that way personally. I feel like you could drop, I mean, the Universal title reign is over 700 days now. So, I mean, by the time you get to Clash at the Castle, that's in, 4 weeks' time, something along those lines? So you can add another, 28 days onto that? I mean, honestly, we're really not getting too far away from that 1,000. It's still a good, 250 odd days, 200 whatever odd days, but it feels like it's within touching distance. Like, it feels like we could absolutely get there, so for me personally, I would have him. I don't mind him dropping the WWE belt. I don't really care about it. Don't really care. He's not had it that long. He won it at WrestleMania. So he could drop it. I think it'll be a nice moment for Clash at the Castle. Imagine the end of Clash at the Castle with Drew holding up the WWE Championship. The fans in the UK will have seen a major title change. Don't forget, back at SummerSlam, there was no kind of, WWE title change. Macho Man went in as champ and he left as champ. So we have had title changes here in the UK. At big ones as well. I remember Jinder losing his title to AJ. So we have on a SmackDown in the UK. So we have seen them, but I just think that show feels like you could absolutely do a title change. I think it is a very special show. It feels special to me. Maybe because I'm in the UK. Maybe it's not that special, but it feels special to me. So I think there is a good chance that he could lose. Right, we're underway with Corbin and Ricochet. I mean, this is quite the spotlight for Ricochet, isn't it? I mean, Ricochet wouldn't be used to seeing him in the first match, but over the top, look at that, comes crashing down on Corbin. I feel like this match is here to show Ricochet. That's what it feels. It feels like this is a match to show off what he can do. Go out there, open up the show. We're not going to start with a Roman promo. We're going to start with action. We're going to start with Ricochet bumping all over the place. I really like his ring gear as well. His ring gear's yellow and white. It looks really classy, actually. Really classy. It might be the best ring gear I've seen Ricochet wear in WWE. I really like that ring gear. I don't know if I've even seen it before, but the logos on the sides are a bit smaller than they've been in the past. And it looks great. It feels quite Rey Mysterio. I like it. They're not going to give us title change at Clash at the Castle, says Jamie. I don't know. They gave you one in 92. Bret Hart lost the title to the British Bulldog. And as I said, at a SmackDown in 2017, there was AJ winning the title from Jinder, and that was the big WWE Championship. So I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I think this is the biggest challenge that Roman has had. I don't know, in a long time. I mean, I never thought he would lose at SummerSlam because I knew that they were going to do him with the belts at Clash. I never thought he was going to lose at WrestleMania because I knew that Brock was not likely to stick around. I knew that he wouldn't lose at Royal Rumble because he's clearly going to go into WrestleMania with the belts. So I've got to say, for the longest time now, this is a real danger. This is a real threat to his title reign. We heard ages ago they wanted to do Riddle, Randy, Drew. Those three matches. Riddle first, then Randy, then Drew. We did Riddle. Randy got injured and that became Brock. Well, now it's Drew. So what do? What we do is we go to commercial break. That's what we do. So we're at commercial break just as Corbin hurls Ricochet into the ring post. There was a double stomp in there by Ricochet as well. So I really like Corbin's attire as well. It's not really different than what he wears, but I like him in those kind of chino things. They're not quite jeans. They're like just normal pants and a nice shirt. I think that looks kind of cool. And as I said, I really like Ricochet's attire as well. I think both of them looking really good. And it's it's a nice showcase to start SmackDown. Maybe lacking a bit of star power. But, no, good. Good. Hopefully Ricochet can show what he's all about. Why don't you live in the US? I wasn't born in the US. I can confirm I'm the only Scottish person that isn't a big fan of Drew, and I don't want him to win at Clash, says Edwards. WrestleZone said Roman needs a change. Do you like his blue Vans trainers? Who's wearing blue Vans trainers? Corbin. I haven't noticed the brand, but I think his overall look looks good. When I look at Corbin, I think about what he was like in NXT. When he had long hair, it was kind of thinning up here, and then it was long, and it didn't look that great. And he had just really awful attire. He kind of was a bit like, he looked like he could probably fit in Judgment Day. So, I think what he does now with his shaved head kind of looks a bit more colourful. He's got the shirt on. I really like what he's wearing today. Both of them. I think both of them looking really good. Do you think Sasha or Naomi come back tonight? I think there's a chance they will. A chance. But equally, I don't know that it's tonight. I don't know. I can't see it being in the Gauntlet. Just because if Sasha's in the Gauntlet, she'll go to Clash and she wins, surely. And are they going to take the title off Liv? I don't know. I think there's a good chance Liv retains at Clash. So you can't do Liv Sasha unless you're going to have Liv go over Sasha. So I don't know. I'm struggling to see where you put her and how you fit them in. Unless you just bring them back and then you focus on like the tag belts, but you can't really do that because all the women are in a gauntlet match tonight. So it kind of feels like they're busy. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like Sasha and Naomi will come back tonight, but all the women are busy. They're trying to get to Clash at the Castle. So I don't know. Maybe next week might be a bit better. Because at least by next week, we'll know who's facing Liv. So once that's sorted, then we can work on a different story. And that different story could be Sasha and Naomi versus whoever. Carlin, 1985, Gareth. Thank you very much, buds. It's amazing support. Why didn't you put a message? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We are back from the commercial break. Yeah, dude, that's amazing. Carlin, 1985, Gareth. Thank you very much, dude. Really appreciate it. But what? I don't think you said anything, did you? Unless I missed it. No. What? Share a thought? I want to shout and I want to discuss whatever you want to say. So put something in the chat, dude. I really appreciate the support. As I said, that'll go straight back into the channel. Corbin rolling up Ricochet. When do you think WWE will move to TV14? Thoughts on what will happen that will make them move? I heard a rumor that it's USA Network or Fox that want to move it. I think it's more USA Network that want to move to TV14. Because of Vince going as well, to be honest, this is going to come down to, the negotiations. This is going to come down to WWE going through a big change. And I think Triple H, I don't know that Triple H is that bothered by it. I think that TV14 is something that the networks might have wanted because they felt it would just give the product a bit of a refresh. That's what I'm reading into it. But you don't need that refresh now because Triple H is that refresh. Vince retiring is that refresh. Like, we don't need TV14. I know there's loads of people out there that want the bad language, want the blood, and all that kind of stuff, but I don't think you need it to have a good product. You can still have a really entertaining show, a really entertaining product, without going TV14. Just because it's been PG, that's not been the problem. The problem has been the bad booking, and that's got nothing to do with the rating. Nothing. So, I don't know, to be honest. It could really be on hold. There's been no talk about TV14 anymore. Against the ropes goes Ricochet. He gets caught. I mean, he is flipping all over the ring. Corbin has got Ricochet. Net breaker, plants him down. 1, 2. Shoulder up by Ricochet. Crowd are into it. Crowd are hot. Did you know that the IC title hasn't been defended on a pay-per-view since WrestleMania 37? What the flip? BB Yipsy said, I'm excited they brought back Carrion. Some really good young talent for the future. Carrion, Theory, Bron Breakker, Solo Sikoa, I believe should be the future. Darcy said, really good crowd this week. I agree. Really good crowds. Roll up by Ricochet. Good match for them to get into, though. Oh, kick to the midsection. Kick again. Ricochet going against the ropes. Deep six. Deep six by Corbin. 1, 2. Oh, 2.9. 2.9. Ronda against Liv versus Sasha at Clash at the Castle, says Abinav. I've gone with Abinav. I couldn't read it because it was moving. I was trying to read it. Theory cashes in on Drew and gets it. Yeah, good point. Theory's still got that briefcase. Ricochet goes over. Shane, shout out to you, buds. Really appreciate the support. I'm just watching Corbin and Ricochet in the corner. Ricochet tried to go over, do a sunset flip. Corbin stayed firm. He grabs Ricochet, plants him up top. Ricochet gets caught. Looks like it's going to be a choke slam. Oh, gets thrown into the edge of the ropes. He's caught there, hurled down. He goes onto the edge of the ring. Shane said Sasha and Naomi come back, but because they left with the belts, no one is interested in the belts. They spend the next 3-4 weeks attacking everyone to get a fight. No one can be bothered for the tag titles. So the story is that no one's interested in fighting for the tag belts. That's a wild story. Double knees by Ricochet. Ricochet going over to the corner. Climbing up top. Last question. Should matches always end by finishers? No. Ricochet. Shooting star. Shooting star by Ricochet. And Ricochet gets the win. So Ricochet wins. I mean, that was a very impressive performance by Ricochet, doing everything we know that Ricochet can do. And just showing that shooting star again. He's so crisp. The height that he can get. So impressive. And he comes crashing down onto Corbin. And it's a win for Ricochet. Impressive. Very good. So, Sasha and Naomi come back, but because they're left with the belts, no one is interested in those tag titles. They spend the next 3-4 weeks attacking everyone to get a fight. I don't know. I'm struggling with that. I think that you're undermining the belts if you go that way. Like, it's kind of like the belts are just not important. Right, so first match, Ricochet and Corbin, and it's basically just all about Pat. Pat with the distraction, Pat throwing a ball around, Pat throwing a ball into the crowds. So Ricochet against Corbin, the winner is the commentator. Right, let's go back into our next match, which is going to be, is it the Gauntlet Match? Gauntlet Match coming up next. So, Natalya, Raquel, Shayna, Sonya, Shotzi, Zaya, and Aaliyah. This is what we've spent probably more time than anything else on. So, we're about to find out who is going to be going up against Liv. We're backstage with Sammy. Sammy is here. I don't feel like we've seen Sammy in a while. He knocks on the door to Roman, and he's got a little smile on his face. So we'll be going over to Sammy when we return from commercial break. Let's change this over to Gauntlet Match. Gauntlet Match. Eric, did I see yours? Let's have a look. Here we go. Last question. Should matches end by finisher? Yeah, I read that. No, I think that if every match ends with a finisher, then, yeah, it gets finishers over and, protects them better. But I don't think we need to be as predictable as, every match ends in a finisher. I think you can have finishes coming from lots of different things. It doesn't have to always be a finisher. But I do think that finishers should be better protected. I do agree with that. I'm still wrestling with Shane's comment. I'm still wrestling with that. I'm still playing it out in my mind about how Sasha and Naomi come back with the belts, but no one wants them. And so they keep attacking people. But the problem you've got is I don't think the fans see them as heels. Even though they walked out, I think they're so loved that people just, I don't know if some are bothered, and I think some aren't. So I think there would be loud cheers if Sasha and Naomi returned. So I think them attacking people backstage, trying to make them heels, I don't know. You might be fighting against the stream on that one. If swimming upstream type thing, not fighting against this stream. So yeah, I don't know. I'm playing it out though, Shane. I'm giving it the thought that it deserves. Is it possible Roman turns face before dropping the titles or leaving for Hollywood? I don't think he should turn face before dropping the belts. I think he's been this monster heel, and I think that he needs to put over someone. I suppose he could turn face and put over Gunther or something like that, but I've got to think it unlikely. It feels like he needs to put over, I don't know who you put over, to be honest. It feels like Cody would make the most sense, but you could do Cody versus Roman at next year's WrestleMania, but I think everyone's expecting it to be The Rock. I'm expecting it to be The Rock. If we do not get The Rock against Roman at next year's WrestleMania, I will be very disappointed, which is maybe the wrong way to look at it, but I will be disappointed. I think Bayley, Io, and Dakota will be the final four of the Rumble. Raquel and Dakota win by eliminating Raquel, and then Dakota and Raquel will feud on the road to Mania like NXT. William said, how would they have them come back on SmackDown when Michael Cole made the harsh statements about them disappointing the universe? Well, those were statements that were made by WWE. It's Michael Cole that delivered the words, but that's not Michael Cole's thoughts, is it? So that Michael Cole is relaying the official line of WWE. So I don't think that Sasha and Naomi would be holding a grudge to Michael Cole. Not unless there's something that's happened with Michael Cole behind the scenes. But they know. If I was Sasha or Naomi and I saw that, I would know that has come from Vince. That is, the official company line. And it's nothing to do with Michael Cole. Sammy is backstage. Door opens. Here is the Usos. Oh, okay. Jimmy seemed quite happy. Jay didn't. What you guys did at SummerSlam, mad respect. Sammy saying that Roman just needed a few days at home. He wanted to congratulate Roman. Give him my... We'll shoot you a text. I'll come back later. Oh, I so want Sammy to be the one. I so want Sammy to be the one. Bayley could bow down and kiss Trish's feet. Play into it. Michael Cole versus Sasha for the 24/7 belts. Yes, dream match. Hang on, I forgot the thing. Dream match. There it is. Brent said, I think what is happening is Gunther and the IC title is perfect. It rebuilds the integrity of the title. Slow build for a long time, I hope. I agree, because he could hold that title for a long time, very much like he did the NXT UK Championship. He can hold on to it. He can bring the prestige back, get big, clean wins as well. And then, who knows, 12 months' time, something like that, we're ready for him to drop the title and be unleashed just on the main event scene or wherever he wants to go, in a feud. Honestly, by 2024, I'm putting a world title on Gunther. I'm putting a world title on him. But I agree. Let's have a good 10 to 12 months with the IC belt, and then lose that, and then who knows? Maybe he wins the Rumble. Maybe he wins the 2024 Rumble. This is the problem, though, isn't it? You can't push everyone. I like the new screens at ringside. What about you? I don't mind them. Yeah, I don't mind them. I do just worry that you can't now use them, but I think they look cool. I hope so. 2024 for the Ring General. I like that push. Naomi holds a grudge with Michael Cole because he apparently beat her in a dance-off, says MKMCD. I heard he'd had an affair with Jimmy Uso. That's what I had heard. Shinsuke's coming out. So when we said the Gauntlet match was next, what we actually meant was it's not next. Unless, is Shinsuke in the Gauntlet match? Is Shinsuke in the Gauntlet match? Nakamura wins then. Shinsuke versus Liv confirmed. Michael said Ronda is a joke. Scott said, I thought the Gauntlet was now. I also, well, when they say Gauntlet coming next, I think it's fair to assume that it was coming now. I don't think that you need to look in the mirror. I don't think you need to take a hard look at yourself there. I was also under that impression. Okay, so Nakamura against Ludwig. I feel Cody Rhodes is going to come back and beat Roman for the championship because, remember, he came to win it for his father's legacy, says P. Oliver. Yes. Brent said Ricochet, Nakamura are talents that WWE has to protect. Both could have wicked run in AEW, says Brent. Carl said they need to have rematches or opponents run out. Heyman just wants to get rich. He's selfish and a traitor. Who needs to have rematches? I think one of the things people want to move away from is rematches. Who are we talking about? Please respond. Are you going to stream KSI against Alex Wasabi? I have no idea. When's that? Ricochet going over Corbin clean really does feel like a changing of the guard moment, says Esteban. Jamie Talks WWE says Survivor Series, Lashley versus Gunther. Who wins? The fans. Legend Killer says, hello, hope you're well, buds. Tony said, Gauntlet gets delayed because Sasha and Naomi are added, says Tony. Wyatt 1 said Vince still wrote some things. Wyatt 1, shout out to you. Mr. Mercedes Spiteful said, have you lost a channel because you've been posting more? I enjoyed the reviews, the debut videos, and the recent top 10s. Yeah, well, we're not doing the football one anymore. So last year I was doing about 2 games on a Saturday, about 2 games on a Sunday. There was normally always a game on Tuesday, Wednesday, sometimes Monday, sometimes Friday. I mean, really, Thursday was the only day where pretty much didn't have a game. And a game is an hour and a half. We would always start about half an hour before. So each game takes about 2 hours. So setting up for them as well, an easy half an hour. making all the graphics for them, making thumbnails, all that kind of stuff. I mean, yeah, I mean, that it was a lot of work and a lot of time, which I had to make a decision on. Do I do that again for this season, which started today, or do I just go really concentrate on the wrestling? And so I'm really concentrating on the wrestling. So, yeah, we are doing... those debut videos were really good, but the past few have kind of struggled a little bit, if I'm being honest. Both the Edge and the Drew McIntyre ones, got to about 1,000 views, but it took them a little while to get there. So that sort of says to me that either YouTube didn't send them out, where they normally would, or people are a bit tired of them or something, I don't know. So that's why I switched to the top 10 ones. They seem to be doing better. That seems to be more what people are looking for and into. So I can see us doing a whole week next week of those top 10 ones. So yeah, big thank you to everyone that's watched those. Maybe they're a bit long. I'd like to try and get them down to about 20 minutes rather than closer to half an hour. So, but I do waffle, man. I mean, that's why it's probably good that I stream, because I can talk. Do you know what I mean? I can go. You put me in an empty room with a camera, I can fill that time. But, I don't know. Maybe those videos are a bit long. Maybe I need to get them down. We'll see. But yeah, I'm pleased you enjoy them, so shout out to you. Do you see Sasha and Naomi returning tonight? I think there's a chance, but I'm going to say unlikely. For me, I'm going to say next week. Because I think this week's all about who faces Liv. Your video earlier, I think Tiffany Stratton will be a single star. I don't think Alexa needs to have a gimmick like a Queen Pin, like you said, but a Mean Girls type faction, yes. Well, yeah, my point was, though, that if you have a Mean Girls faction, I think Alexa would be good to be the head of that. However you want to word it. Like, head girl, Queen Pin, whatever. I could see her leading that faction. And if you've got if you're gonna do something with Mean Girls, and you're gonna have girls hanging out backstage that, do you know what I mean, give dirty looks and bully the locker room, if you will, Tiffany Stratton just is a name that comes to mind that kind of already seems to be there or thereabouts. We don't really need much of a gimmick change. So, I don't know, it could be a good way to introduce Tiffany Stratton. She certainly wouldn't need to do it forever, but, you know, kind of how they had Liv in Riot Squad, and how you've got, Butch with Sheamus, Rick Boogs was with Nakamura. Maybe when Tiffany comes up, she gets put with someone. Again, how Tommaso is with Miz, and then she can break away and do her own thing. Here comes Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser. Gunther shouting at Ludwig Kaiser. Don't listen. He must already know he's going to get chopped. He must already know. Imagine going to work knowing that you will be getting chopped by Gunther. It's going to happen. I mean, I can't imagine he looks forward to Fridays. So, I've got to think that Shinsuke's winning this. Ludwig Kaiser in the ring, Gunther on the outside, Shinsuke in the ring. This will be good. I'm down for this. If you through the comments, late saying hello, Trini hello, Trini saying hello to Legend Killer. Gunther is the man, says, damn it, I hate that Bob Barker. Right, we are underway with Ludwig against Nakamura. Ludwig has got Nakamura down on his knees, controlling the match in the early stages. So, Ludwig versus Nakamura. And he's got his elbow, driving it into the head of Shinsuke. Shinsuke going over to the corner, face first into the corner. Strike coming in again, kicks to the midsection. Elbow by Ludwig. Kick again by Ludwig. The Ring General. Very believable, both Ludwig and Gunther. This is really good wrestling, says Brent. Kojiko said the dot over the small letter I is called a tittle. Boobs. The dot is the integral part of the lowercase I and J. These dots also appear over letters in various languages. Tittle. Boobs. Good vibrations by Shinsuke. Good vibrations in the corner. Ludwig down, Shinsuke backing up. Smile on his face. Come on! Ludwig looking over, charging over, knee to the midsection. Kick coming into the chest. Quick strikes by Shinsuke, catches the leg. Enziguri. Ludwig goes down to his knees. Nakamura driving the knee down. Ludwig kicking out. So if Nakamura wins this, he gets a shot at Gunther's Intercontinental Championship. Big strike there by Ludwig. Gotta think the IC belt's going to be at Clash at the Castle. I mean, a massive European show. I mean, not only is it the biggest show for 30 years in the UK, it's got to be the biggest show in Europe. Over the top. Kick coming in. Little sloppy by Nakamura. But, oh. Face first. Ludwig Kaiser slamming Shinsuke down. Ludwig Kaiser keeping in the match as we go to commercial break. MCD said, I really hope they do something big with Dakota, because when Zelina returned from being released, she won Queen's Crown. So maybe Dakota either wins Queen's Crown or, hopefully, the Rumble. Darcy said, I want to see Gunther and Lesnar German suplexing and chopping each other. Well, if that is your fantasy, then fair play. Edward said, please read. I gave suggestion. I only gave. Why are you apologising for giving a suggestion, Edward? William said, I don't think I have ever been more scared than when you screamed, it's Edge, during the Rumble. There was rumours that he was going to be in it, but it was far from guaranteed. It was a fantastic moment. That's one of the biggest Rumble surprises in recent memory. I mean, really, I'd say you'd have to go back maybe to AJ 2016. I mean, we've had some nice surprises, don't get me wrong, but AJ was special and Edge was special. We didn't get Ronda until after the Rumble. I would have included Ronda, but she came out after the match had ended, which was a great moment. Daze is a scary person in general, says LS Dub. That is correct. That is correct. Harley said, I'm excited for Clash at the Castle because it's the first time watching a WWE pay-per-view in person. Have a great time, Harley. Have a great time. I'm sure there's plenty of people in our community that are going to be representing, as obviously it's a massive show. 65,000 to 70,000, maybe even more than that now. But those are the numbers I heard the other week. I don't think she needs to be ordering hits on other people. I think it would make more sense if someone like Nikki Cross was affiliated with another mob and took down Tony D'Angelo, says Michael. NFL News says, hi, when are you going to play tennis? Do you know, I've only ever played tennis like once in my life, other than when I was at school. I went down to a park and played with a friend because a friend I knew was really into it. So we went down to the park and played tennis for a bit. It was all right. I can't say that I was desperate to go back. Eric said, how come no one ever made a wrestling meme using the word chops in that song from 10 years ago? Shots, shots, shots. Now that's an NFT. I don't know that. I don't know that song. Shots, 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 shots. I don't know that song. What was it called? Was it called Shots? I don't know. I can't answer that because I think you've made that song up. Juan said, did you notice the WWE cameraman messed up both AJ Styles' debut and Edge's return? I can't say I noticed the Edge... the Edge return, the crowd go crazy, and then you cut over, but the AJ one is flipping awful. The AJ one is one of the worst camera botches I've ever seen. Because you look at Roman's face, like, the music hits, and obviously we didn't know what the music was. So we go to Roman's face, and Roman's, like, looking puzzled. And then the camera cuts to AJ walking out with his head down. Like, it's not like we go over and it's black and then the lights come on and AJ's standing there, or you actually see him with, like, walking out with his head down. Like, I feel like we see something we're probably not meant to have seen. I think he was meant to have been in position before we cut to AJ. So, at the time, I thought it was horrible camera work, and you're absolutely right. They botched it. Still a great moment, though. I mean, look, it's still AJ arriving in it. He's going for the Kinshasa here. Nakamura in the corner. Oh, European uppercut by Ludwig. Nakamura getting in the face of Gunther. Nakamura seemingly not bothered by Gunther. Gunther was on the outside, and he was like, I'm not getting involved. He will get involved. Strike coming in. Kick there by Nakamura. Oh, planted down. 1, 2. Kick out by Nakamura. We're getting plenty of wrestling here. Do you remember the other week when we only had about 15 minutes of wrestling? That ain't the case this week. Getting tons of wrestling. Almost by Ludwig. MJF will be WWE champion when he comes to WWE, says Jamie. Nakamura goes down. He's got the arm of Ludwig. He's got the arm. Ludwig stomps in the face too. Oh, that was close. Close by Ludwig. Nice spinning kick there by Nakamura, who goes back into the corner. Kinshasa connects. Kinshasa connects. And Nakamura wins. Kinshasa connects. And Nakamura wins. Nakamura. So, there we go. Nakamura gets victory. Kinshasa delivering. Sonny, hello. Hope you are well. Ludwig's going to get chopped. He is. He's going to get chopped. Choppity chop chop. Gunther steps in face to face with... Nakamura goes to touch the belt and Gunther slaps his hand away. Do you know what? Nakamura says, come on, and Gunther steps right to him. Look at that. Look at these two face to face. Big fight feel, man. Big fight feel. Dream match. Dream match. Dream match. Yes. That looked great. When he went right up to his face then, that was awesome. Ludwig doesn't get chopped either. That was cool. That was really cool. Let's get... it looks so good. These two right in each other's faces. Bum, 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 bum. Ba-ba-da-ba-dum-bum. Right, I need to get my scroll going, don't I? There we go. Boom. Who do you think would be the best choice to beat Roman? Cody. I mean, Cody's got to win next year. So let's get Roman to 1,000 days. Who knows where Cody's going to go? Cody could get moved in the draft. So We'll have to wait and see. Under Triple H, the match is if Nakamura wins, he gets a title match. Under Vince, the match is if Ludwig loses, he gets chopped. Oh, I missed the chop now. We're backstage with Kofi. Kofi is hobbled in on one leg. How is Xavier doing? It's only going to be a matter of time before he's back. When we say every day is a new day, it's not just a gimmick, we mean it. Yeah, he's on it. It's all by himself, isn't he? Woods is out. And Big E is out. Do you know why? Oh. New Day Rocks. Doesn't quite hit the same when he's having to do it on his own. He said he's going to get revenge. So, Kofi promo. Jensen, shout out to you, dude. Said, how's things going? I hope you are well. Doing all right, man. Doing all right. So, yeah, we're enjoying Smackdown. It's a good show. Plenty of wrestling. So, Xavier back soon. And Viking Raiders, the new vicious Viking Raiders, the new ferocious Viking Raiders will be made to pay. Don't know how they're going to be made to pay on his own. Is he going to take them both out, is he? Or is he going to need a new partner? That's my thoughts. The show's been great so far. Haven't watched SmackDown for a while, says J. Cole. What's closing the show? Will it be the 7 women gauntlet match or Roman Drew confrontation? I'm thinking it'll be probably Roman Drew and the gauntlet will finish just before, so that's my guess. Gauntlet finishes, 10 minutes to go, Roman Drew come out and they're face to face. The pleasantly aromatic Viking Raiders. Oh, I like that, Brent. That's nice. Sounds tasty. MKMCD said, I'm sorry for my Rumble comments because I always comment Rumble stuff. Why does everyone apologise? What's going on, guys? Apologising? It's very 2022. I've been a major fan of the different stuff. That is a fun thing for me to see, says Marlowe. Survivor Series this year could look great if it's Lashley Gunther, says Jensen. Matthew said, what's your favourite thing in a fish and chip shop? Oh. If I was to go to a fish and chip shop, and there's one not that far down the road, it would be kebab meat and chips. So, inside a fish and chip shop, obviously, you've got, like, fish, and they're doing cooking chips literally all the time. I mean, anything you get from a fish and chip shop, you're probably having chips with it. But you can get, like, pies in there. Not apple pies, meat pies. So they do, like, steak and kidney pie, chicken pie, things like that. So you could have that and chips. You can have fish and chips, of course. You could have battered sausage and chips. That's where they get a sausage. They put it in the batter, the same batter that they batter like a fish with or whatever. And you could have that and chips. I never tend to have that, though. I never find that very filling. And it's incredibly unhealthy. Incredibly unhealthy. But, if ever you go to a fish and chip shop, it's comfort food. No one's going there because it's flipping healthy. No one's going there because it's part of their detox. So, if you go to a fish and chip shop that it's a cheat night or whatever. But if I was to go, they always do, like, kebabs. I think you guys call them gyros. I think you call them gyros. And they might call them gyros over in, like, Greece or whatever. I have no idea. They've never been called that here. I mean, ever since I've been a young boy, the fish and chip shops have always had the kebab thing, the thing that turns around at the back the kebab meat on that kind of rotator. I mean, since I was, 21 years ago, my whole life they've always done those. In every fish shop. I don't know that I've ever been in a fish and chip shop that's never had one. So, kebab meat that they kind of shave off, that thing that turns round. That with some, chili sauce, little bit of lettuce, bit of chili, chips as well. Sometimes you can have it in, a pita bread as well. Put it all in a pita bread or a naan bread with the chips. Beautiful. That's what I'd go and get. And that's what I want right now. Right, we're back from commercial break. We got Roman. Oh, Sammy knocking on Roman's door. Usos have come out again. Sammy said, I never got that text. The wise man normally handles all this. It's not really my job, but I'm the honorary use. It would mean a lot to Roman. Okay. Yeah. He's going to do it. He's going to make sure the music's perfect. Everything's perfect. Let him know I'll take care of it. There you go. Honorary use has gone off. Honorary use has gone off to deal with the music. I hope he botches it. Imagine if the music's botched. Whatever they're doing with Sammy, I am on board. I am all over. So, Sammy and Usos. Sammy didn't get the text. In the ring with Kayla. So, we're going to address the controversy right now. Okay, so Liv coming out with Ronda's championship. Liv Morgan, she's got her arm in a some kind of sling device. Some kind of sling. So, making her way down to the ring with her arm in a sling. Liv Morgan. What is going on? What the flip is going on? There we go. Lots of Liv signs. Boom. Right, Liv in the ring, smile on her face. What if they bullied Zayn for a few months and then he took the title from Roman? What if they bullied Zayn for a few months, took the title? I'd love it. I'd absolutely love it. Can you tell us what's been going on in your mind? She's feeling lots of different emotions. There's a few boos. There's a few boos. You tapped out. You tapped out. Hey, imagine if she had come out and surrendered the title. Who suggested that? Nah, let's just ignore it, shall we? Can you believe this reaction? Can you believe it? Boo! You tapped out. You tapped out. They're like, send someone out there. Send someone out there quick. This is sad to see, says Sonya. Some of them will buy it. You can give your Liv Morgan act to some of these people, and some of them will buy it. Do you know what made me happy? Yeah. Watching Ronda get suspended after you screwed her over. Sonya moving the conversation on to Adam Pearce. Looking at Liv, it honestly feels like she wants the ground to swallow her up. That's the vibe I'm getting from her. She looks very disappointed. She looks hurt. She looks crestfallen. Sonya said, I'm going to break your heart. I think Liv just buried herself after that chant with the fans and this promo. Right, Aaliyah making her way down. So it looks like we're going to be starting with Sonya and Aaliyah. I'm guessing we're just going to move on from that. I've got to say, right, I thought she should have surrendered it. I am genuinely shocked. Because I live in the minority, right? A lot of my opinions are not the popular opinions. So I am fully aware there are tons of Liv Morgan fans out there. And I expected a lot of them to be in that crowd. I mean, there are a lot of Liv Morgan signs. There's a lot of youngsters. At no point, if you said to me, will they chant you tapped out? Will they boo Liv Morgan? I would have said no flipping chance. No chance. No way they're going to boo Liv Morgan. Like, this crowd love Liv Morgan, and they are going to be right with her. Like, I don't think that the WWE fans really care about Ronda. I don't think they really care about Ronda. So, Liv getting a win, even if it's screwy over Ronda, I think a lot of fans will just turn a blind eye. That is not what has just happened. Easily the biggest talking point of this show is the reaction that Liv has just got there, because it genuinely surprised me. Genuinely surprised me. So many fans wanted her to win, and now look, they've turned on her already, said Darshan. I bet Ronda is home yelling, please, please. Don't boo Liv. I want to be the heel. When a heel does it, it's expected, but not a face. It's double standard, says Larry. Yeah, but a heel, she's not a heel, is she? Boos again, and Liv holds that title up and they're booing her? They are not letting her forget about it. That's amazing. On the outside, she just held the belt up. They must still be saying stuff to her. They must still be saying stuff to her. Listen, if a heel cheats, you boo them. If a face cheats, the fans are booing her. She didn't cheat, right? It's a bad call by the referee. The ref didn't see it, so it's not like it's Liv's fault. It's not that it's her fault. It's a bad call by the ref, but it's the fact that she's just going to carry on as being champion. Ronda Rousey chants. Oh my God, Ronda Rousey chants. They're killing her. They are killing Liv Morgan. This crowd are all over Liv. They are not leaving Liv alone. Raquel making her way down. I'm stunned. I am stunned. Sonya has now got to beat Raquel. I can't believe they're not leaving her alone. I can't believe that they're not just watching this match. Maybe Liv just shouldn't be out there. Perhaps if Liv wasn't out there, like, this crowd have made their feelings known. Wow, this is awkward, says Kai. It's amazing. It's amazing. Not in a great way, but in a totally unexpected. WWE were not expecting that. Liv was not expecting that. Right? Her demeanor when she first walks out is completely different to her demeanor now. Completely different. Look at the disaster that was caused with that creative decision. I'm not sure Triple H is the one that came up with that ending, said Big Time Baxter. Foley had a similar experience in a match, says Larry. They're all different times, though, aren't they? I mean, I had this conversation on Twitter, and people are like, yeah, but Eddie used to cheat. But it's like, Eddie's whole thing was lie, cheating, and stealing. That was his whole character. Liv isn't... That's not her character. I said her character, Liv's character, is grinding, working, doing the right thing. It's kind of like... She represents the kids I see Liv as, being someone that, like, the kids look up to. It would be like Hugger Bailey cheating. Do you know what I mean? Back elbow by Raquel. I keep saying cheating. She didn't cheat, but I don't know. It just doesn't feel like the right way forward. Foley went off on the fans when they chanted for a wrestler no in the match, says Larry. That's why wrestling fans have got a bad reputation, says Darshan. I don't disagree with the fans. She's walking around saying that she's got the belt and she's the champion, but we all saw that she lost the match. So how can you walk around kind of gloating that you're the champion and we're meant to support that? I'm with the fans on this one. Shotzi making her way down, so that's the end of Aaliyah's opportunity. And here we are with Raquel progressing after a big Vader bomb. She lands onto Sonya, picks Sonya up, plants her down. And it's a win for Raquel Rodriguez. You missed Liv swearing. Oh, I didn't see Liv swearing. You missed Liv swearing on live. So many real changes. I didn't see Liv swearing. No, I didn't. Is that doing the rounds on social media, is it? I mean, if that's doing the rounds on social media, I don't know if they showed it. In the background, she is sat by commentary, and she is like... You can see she's really affected by it. She knows that she's reached the mountaintop, and this is not going to plan. So she is visibly upset, not crying or anything, but she looks like she could burst into tears. She always looks that way. She is I did see her hold the belt up. Clearly there's people in the crowd that are still shouting stuff at Liv, and she's like just like holding up the belt to the crowd. It's incredible. It's incredible. Is that doing the rounds on social media? Is it that she's now swore to the fans? Because I'm not. I don't know if that's going to win people over. Lol. Let's have a look and see what's happening. Stop you messing around. Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan. Crowd have turned. Triple H did this. If there is any footage of her like swearing, send it. I'm really interested in seeing it, but I can't find it. There's obviously a lot of conversation about it. Easily the biggest part of the show so far, but I can't see anything about her swearing. They blanked it out. It was in the promo. Oh. The crowd aren't making her a heel babyface. They should have had Liv acknowledge she tapped and offer Ronda a rematch when she's not suspended. That would have helped. She could have said, look, I did tap and I want, a mistake was made and I want to give Ronda another shot at this title. I can't do that while she's suspended. Whilst we're waiting for that suspension. The thing is, the only problem is, I think the fans still would have said something. We have right now a champion that lost that match. She lost. So her walking around with the belt is, the same sort of thing happened. Well, not the same thing, but in UFC, Aljamain Sterling won the title by disqualification. And a lot of people thought that wasn't fair. And he didn't care. He was walking around as the champ. But he was well respected. And as soon as he won the title that way, fans started turning on him because they didn't think it was the right way for him to win a title was by like a disqualification. And it's not like it was a no DQ match or anything like this. It's just the rules are different in UFC. So, his opponent got disqualified and that was enough for him to win the title. But it all felt really uncomfortable and it didn't feel like he'd been losing the match as well. So for him to now walk around with the belt acting like he's the best person in the division, the crowd weren't having it. So it knocked him, it hurt him. We're underway with Raquel and Shotzi. I don't know why I've got that. We are 40-odd minutes away from the ends. Raquel. Could you see Aaliyah becoming Liv 2.0? They both started off bad in ring. Liv improved. Could that be the case for Aaliyah? I thought she could get over with the right gimmick. Maybe. I mean, I'm sorry to say that I think some of Liv's appeal are her looks. I think if she, wasn't an attractive girl as she is, I don't know that she would garner the support that she gets. So I feel like if Aaliyah can improve in ring and everything, then she could get somewhere. But I honestly don't know if she's going to get the same support. I mean, I don't know. It's down to personal preference, isn't it? Who's more attractive is a conversation I'm really not interested in. But I think we have to say that is part of Liv's appeal. Xia Li's made her way down, so it is not going to be Shotzi. So it's going to be Raquel, Xia. I can see this coming down to Raquel against Shayna. Who do you think will dethrone Roman, Cody, or Drew? I think that Drew stands a very good chance. Very good chance. I really don't know. I think there's lots of different ways they can go. But I think if Cody wins, he wins it at Mania. So if he's winning it at Mania and we're doing Rock Roman, that means that the title can't be on Roman at Mania, or at least one of them. So how about we get it off him at Clash at the Castle? What about if we get the belt onto Drew, one of them, somehow he wins the WWE title. Roman can keep his historic Universal title reign going, but it gets the belt off of him, the WWE one. Drew can then carry that. And then, I don't know, maybe we get Drew Cody at WrestleMania and Cody wins the belt there. Or maybe Seth beats Drew at the Rumble. or Elimination Chamber, and then we get Cody Seth in the one match for the WWE, and we get Roman Rock for the Universal in the other match. So I am going to lean Drew. I think he's got a chance. I'm going to put it that way. Against the ropes goes Xia Li. Is it me, or is Drew cold? He's been cold for ages. He feuded with Sheamus and Butch for months. That sucked. And now he's getting a title shot because he's the biggest star from the UK. He is cold. But I thought he was cold when he went into the Royal Rumble, and then he ended up winning that. And then he goes to Mania and he beats Brock. So I think that now that he's here, they'll spend these next few weeks warming him up. So I think he's got a chance. I think him against Roman has long been rumored, or long been believed to be a match we were going to get. I forgot about Natalya. Natalya racing down. I've got to think that Raquel's going to deal with Natalya. So Raquel Rodriguez picks up another victory. So we're seeing Natalya racing her way down. Natalya charging over, chop block. Hunter needs former wrestlers to be refs, says Larry. So Raquel doing well. Raquel beating Sonya. Raquel beats Shotzi. Raquel beats Xia Li. Now, here she is in action against Natalya. What if they have Shayna win, turn her face, and then Liv heel? Could be interesting. Raquel rolling. Liv just, I don't know, she's never struck me as being heelish. As I said, she's got that support by the kids really that just I think look up to her. I don't know if you could turn a heel. I don't know what they're going to do following this, because if she's getting this reaction here, I think that will have sent a message out to people that, there's a chunk of the WWE universe that are not into what has gone down. I'm glad Claudio is the Ring of Honor World Champion. He really deserves it. Tree Trunker said that's the issue with screwy finishes. Ronda should have turned at Money in the Bank and got suspended then. Liv could have stalled out her reign without having to do that SummerSlam match. I agree. Daniel said, did you see Keith Lee was at UFC 277? He was sat right behind Yair Rodriguez. I did not see that, no. Natalya gets planted down with a single-arm powerbomb. 2, 3, and that's enough for a victory there for Raquel. Raquel beats Natalya. Now she's got to get past Sonya. Shayna. Getting all my women mixed up. Who is going to clash at the castle? Will it be Sonya? Will it be Raquel? These babyface runs go the same. Everyone cheers when you chase, but when you're holding the title, they turn. It might just be one of those people better chasing the belt, says Hoff Sports Media. Lone Star Friend said, I can see Roman losing one belt, bringing him down a peg, but keeping him a champion. Could we see Forbidden Door 2.0 with WWE and AEW now? No. Larry said, let it be Shayna. Shayna has come out. We've gone to commercial break. We've got about 40 odd minutes. I mean, incredible scenes on SmackDown tonight. Absolutely incredible scenes. Darcy said, a bit random, but would Cena finally beating Flair's record seem like a waste now? Yes. I would imagine you'd want a proper build. Yes. But with him having other commitments, it seems pointless now. Yes. Edward said, I told you yesterday, Liv is a coward. She's a jobber. Tony said, Shayna beats Liv, then Shayna versus Ronda. Michael said, were you passionate when Becky pinned Ronda when her arm was up at the 2 count? You were very shocked about it. I think Ronda was... Jumped off screen. I think Ronda was... shocked. You was shocked about it. I think Ronda was done because of the critics she sucked in ring and promos. Well, I think the reason why she was done at SummerSlam was because they've only just put the belt on Liv. Liv has got support. I mean, as much as they're making noise against her on the show, there'll be plenty of people standing up for her on social media. So she has got her supporters. I've had many conversations with people following that SummerSlam result that you know, were like, Liv, just, they were blinkers on, you know, it's done, it's over, we move forward type thing. So she's got tons of support. She might feel like it right now, but there's people out there that support her. So I think WWE got themselves in a situation where they needed to keep going with this Liv title reign, see how it played out, see, you know, is she a big player in the future? Apparently her merch has been selling fairly well at the house shows. She's been getting really good pops and reactions. So I don't actually think what happened at SummerSlam was a reflection of Ronda, more a reflection of Liv's. We've got Liv to the dance. I think maybe Ronda always planned to have some time off after SummerSlam as well. Maybe that's why she wanted to lose the title at Money in the Bank. Because, again, Ronda apparently played a part in Liv getting that belt. She said, whoever I drop this to, I want it to be the most passionate, most dedicated person. And so Liv wins Money in the Bank and Liv beats Ronda. So maybe that's because Ronda always planned that SummerSlam was going to be her last match for a little while, and then she's going to go off and spend time with her kid, because don't forget she's got a baby. So she's gone off with her kids. I don't know if it is a baby. I think it's a baby. I don't know how old her kid is, right? But either way, she's gone off to be with a kid. However old it is, it's young. And so I think what happened at SummerSlam was more about Liv than it was about Ronda, but they just couldn't find a way of getting Liv past Ronda. I thought there should have been outside interference. I thought we should have gone that way. They didn't. They did that screwy finish. I wasn't down on it because I thought, well, maybe they'll have Liv surrender the belt and then you could do a women's tournament. And that's a conversation we've had many times, right? So we don't need to go over that ground. But they haven't. They've ignored it, and now she's got the reaction that she's got. So I just think this is really, really interesting. I absolutely 100% did not expect that reaction. I honestly thought that the WWE Universe were just going to put the blinkers on, just ignore what had happened. You know, she got past Ronda. That's it. We move forward. You know, the fact that Ronda was getting Ronda chants. You know, there's a lot of people that feel that she has underwhelmed. So the fact that her name has been chanted, I mean, WWE have managed to do something that I didn't expect them to be able to do. They've actually got the crowd chanting for Ronda. But we've had Ronda chants and you tapped out chants and all of that kind of stuff. Crowd settling down a little now. I'm not hearing abuse being thrown at Liv now that we're underway with Raquel and Shayna. But as soon as this finishes, you've got to think there's going to be a face-to-face. That is going to be really interesting. What happens then? Shayna has caught Raquel. Kirikou clutch. Shayna Baszler trying to channel that inner killer. This is two great former NXT women's champions going up against each other. A bit of a dream match. Dream match. Seeing these two, it's a shame this isn't a takeover. Imagine if this had been an NXT takeover. Raquel going over to the corner. She grabs onto the rope. She rolls over. Shayna gets her shoulder up. Little roll through. These two... oh, Shayna gets it! Wow, Sonny, shout out to you. So it's gonna be Shayna Baszler. I do not want Shayna losing to Liv. She is. She was a killer. She was a killer down in NXT. Liv holds the title up. Shayna Baszler has won the match. And that's it. The face-to-face isn't... Sammy, we're seeing Sammy again. Shayna. Do you want the truth? If you don't start pulling your weight, we're going to make you take that shirt off real soon. So, the honorary Oos just got shouted at. Gaming in real time, shout out to you, buds. Says Shayna will win with interference from Ronda. Could go that way. Could go that way. So, Shayna beats Raquel and stares at Liv. Then we've got Usos telling Sammy to pull his weight. They say they leveled up at SummerSlam. I'd say they did. And we're back at commercial break. Shayna doesn't need Ronda's help, says Larry. Let's click on... another former UFC woman for Liv. Days expect a clear tap followed by a pin to screw Shayna. Yeah, they'll go back to their boxer tricks again, won't they? They'll just do exactly what we've done. Liv gets booed. Shayna wins Gauntlet Match. Give Shayna the belt. She deserves a monster run, says Darcy. Go said, what if they tie in that Shayna had a UFC background like Ronda? Shayna says she is seeking revenge for Ronda. They turn Shayna face and Liv heel. Well, I mean, before tonight, I would have said no. Just because a heel Liv is something I can't envisage. But after that reaction, it's something I can envisage. So, the girl, I don't know, the girl that was the internet darling, that did everything the right way, that climbed the mountain, got to the title, and then got consumed by keeping it, turned on those fans, did whatever it took. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, before tonight I would have said, no, I can't see them doing that, but flip. Who knows? The internet fanboys for Liv don't represent reality, said British Soundboard Pranks. I mean, that is true. I mean, you do have to remember that Twitter in particular is somewhere that has got... It's where the fan bases thrive. It's where the standums thrive. It's where the standums make noise. And sometimes you can definitely go on there and it feel like everyone has the same opinion. Or it can feel like you are the minority. But it's absolutely true. I mean, it keeps happening with, like, big political things here, you know, without going into politics. Keep hearing about, you know, during Brexit, for example, when Brexit was going on, I would go onto social media and all I would see are people talking about we need to stay in the European Union, facts why. I mean, it felt to me on social media like we were staying during Brexit, because I just did not see people talking about I'm voting to go and all that kind of stuff. And then the result was the result. And we end up leaving the European Union. And that's happened with like general elections as well, where, you know, I've thought one side's going to win and then a different side wins. It happens quite a bit, actually. It happens quite a bit when I think about like big political things that have happened in the past. I've seen social media say one thing and then the other result come through. So yeah, it is true. You can look at like things like that and sometimes believe that that's the majority when it's not. Right, here's the Viking Raiders, the vicious, ferocious Viking Raiders. Viking Raiders. I don't understand what they're doing. I mean, are they just going up against Kofi Kingston? What are we doing? Raid. They don't do that anymore. Trini said, Twitter is not the real world, no matter what the tweets say. The male version of Ronda made Stone Cold tap out. It happens, says Excellence of Execution. Coach Coach said, OMG was first used in a letter to Winston Churchill in 1917. Is that true? OMG. Wow, who are they facing? We got jobbers! Oh, look at his hair as well. Bobby and Jim. Bobby, look at that dude's hair. Bobby and Jim. Yeah. Jobbers. Full-blown, actual, bona fides jobbers. Local talent. Oh, I've missed jobbers. Isn't it great when you see some jobbers? Just some lumps of meat that you can chuck around. Boom. Slam down. Eric, thank you, Triple H. Yes. Thank you, Triple H. Being carried over, and Ivar. Splash plants him down. They're playing with their food here. Are they going to stack them both on top of each other? Yeah. Boom. He gets slammed on top of him, and they pin them, and the Viking Raiders beat the jobbers. So, there we go. Do you think Sammy will betray the bloodline and help Drew win? I hope not. I think if Sammy's gonna, I don't know. I mean, I want Sammy to get to the main event scene. Does that help him get there? Whatever we're doing with Sammy, I hope it's major. I don't want it to be that the end result of this is he helps Drew. I want Sammy to be a champion. Sammy was great in NXT. The underdog from the underground. Viking Raiders. Oh, Kofi with a kendo. Kofi with a kendo. Kofi with a kendo. Kendo. If you know, then you know. Kofi. Kofi just beat the Viking Raiders worse than the crowd beat Liv. LOL. Looks different. That was a big return tonight. Jobbers! Yeah! Kendo Kingston! Yeah! Kendo Kingston! Kendo Kingston! Imagine the Jobbers won due to Kofi's interference. The show is great, says Airflow. I love Kofi. Sonny said, since you've got free time, if we have a movie night, why don't you stream? Would you join us for a Discord movie night? No. I'm sorry, what's this free time that you talk about as well? Are you under the wrong impression that now that I don't do the football channel, I'm going to use that time to watch movies? Are you under that impression? Because the impression I was under was that I was going to use that time to make more wrestling videos. So, I don't think that's going to happen, Sonny. Plus, don't forget, I hate you all. I don't want to get any mixed messages. I literally cannot stand any of you. So why would I jump into a movie night? Come on, Sonny. Manuel Villanueva. Love that name. I do love that name. Villanueva. Sounds like a really nice place you could go on holiday. I went to Spain. Oh, where did you go? Oh, I went to Villanueva. Oh, it's nice there. Yeah. Good women. Lovely women. Great girls. Villanueva. Days turned heel. When was Days face? That would be my question. Larry said, I didn't even know the jobbers' names. To be honest, I didn't catch all of their names, but I did catch Bobby and Jim. I heard Michael Cole mention it. Let me guess. Gunther Chop Ludwig? No. No, he did not. We believed he would, but it never happened. Days has always been heel, says Huff Sports Media. Correct. William said, fact, Daves loves us so much he hates us all because we represent the love he can never return. I mean, I would say that's true, but I literally just hate you. So, I don't know. Whatever makes it easier to sleep at night. Let's put it that way. Have you had anything interesting or adventurous to eat? We had a salad today that was quite nice. Very fresh. Had like lemon and lime that was used in it, and there was like, I want to say pinto beans, but I'm not too sure. Steak was in there cut up as well. It's a lovely salad. I mean, it's hard to get excited about a salad, but when it's so full of flavour and it's so fresh, I really enjoyed it. So, to answer your question, no, I had a salad, but it was a really, really nice salad and one that I'd never had before. So, we're seeing a shot of the crowd, and we've actually got Kofi taking on Eric. Kofi against Eric, 1-on-1. I don't really get this. I don't really understand. Kofi comes down and wallops the Viking Raiders with a kendo stick. And the response is, let's have a match. Wouldn't the new ferocious Viking Raiders want to just destroy him? Why doesn't Ivar just jump in the ring? Why the ferocious Viking Raiders don't care about winning, do they? Do they care about getting a 1-2-3? That knee was awful, by the way. Eric just throws a knee and Kofi's head goes... Poof. Kofi's head turned into a Pez dispenser. He snapped his head back so bad, I thought a little candy was going to pop out. Man, that was moody. Moody. Boom. Oh, that knee. So, Kofi versus Eric. Vicious knee strike by Eric. We got 20 minutes to go. Rhea posted that the crowd booing Liv is fickle and she should join Judgment Day. Do you think that'll happen? Don't think so. They're on a different... I mean, maybe if they move to SmackDown. But they're on different brands, aren't they? If Ronda lost a movie role to Connor, how come she's in the same thing as Connor, says Edwards. Oh, I feel like I've walked in on a conversation. Nice kick there by Kofi. We are underway. Is this our main event? And then maybe we get Ronda. Got Ronda on the brain. We get Roman after this. Friendship love, says Sonny. Yeah, friendship love, Sonny. I had prosciutto, mozzarella, basil pizza, and it was so good it made me cry. It sounds like it's missing chicken. It sounds like it's missing like a hefty meat. Do you know what I mean? Like beef pieces or chunks of chicken or... I don't know. I think I might cry if you gave me that. Brent said, do you think Cyborg could cross over to a match with Ronda? I don't know, to be honest. Knee to the back of the head by Eric. I don't think Cyborg's got the star power that Ronda had. And also, I don't think the Ronda experiment has been a massive success. I mean, I could be wrong. It's really hard to gauge what people think sometimes because, I mean, I had no inkling or thought that crowd would react the way they did tonight to Liv. But in regards to like Ronda, my gut feeling is that she's credible. I think people respect what she achieved, but in pro wrestling, they probably feel she's falling short. No, I don't think anyone can say she's a good promo, but she's very credible. She's very, very credible. And I think people appreciate that. Strike by Eric. Kofi in the ring. Eric in the ring as well. Roll up by Kofi. And Kofi gets the win. Roll up. Oh my God. Kofi wins by roll up. Well, it's not great being the new vicious, ferocious Viking Raiders, is it? So Kofi comes down, beats you up with kendo sticks. For some reason, you agree to have a match rather than just beat him into a pulp. And then you lose that match. So Kofi wins against Eric with a roll up. Roll up. Hey. Breaking news. There is a tournament. A tournament for the women's tag belts. There is a tournament for the women's tag titles. Damn. So they're still going ahead with the tournament. Is that where Sasha and Thingy come back? Are they going to come back then, do you reckon, and be a part of that tournament? The only thing, why would you do that though? Because I feel like you're just reminding everyone. You might remember that we said there's going to be a tournament. Do you remember when they walked out? Do you remember when they walked out? They walked out, didn't they? Do you remember? Do you remember when they didn't go to that show? Do you remember? They walked out, and we said we'd do a tournament. Do you remember that? Do you remember when they walked out? Well, we're going to do it now. Right, here's Roman. 705 days. Roman Reigns making his way down to the ring. They should come back after the tournament holding the titles in the air. I mean, that is going to be a surprise. But I think what that does, that says to me there's been real movement on the Sasha Naomi thing, though. It says that to me. It says that we've got something going on there. And, you know, it's been widely reported they are expected. They are expected to be returning, so... Let's go, I think let's do that as a separate video, shall we? Because we got Roman coming out, but we'll be going to commercial break soon. I feel like this is worth doing a separate vid on because... So Roman and the Usos have come out. But big breaking news. It's just been announced on SmackDown that on Raw, we're going to get a women's tag team championship tournament. Now this, I think, is a big surprise because they did announce a tournament before, but since then, obviously Vince has retired. We've had Triple H come in charge of creative. And not only that, there's been big reports that Sasha and Naomi are on their way back. So this is a surprise because, yes, it's been announced before, but then it went quiet. Nothing has been said for weeks and weeks and weeks. A long time, actually. And so it kind of felt to me like they were going to bring Sasha and Naomi back, but they were going to bring them back as the champions. Let's pretend nothing happened, right? Let's pretend that no one walked out. I thought they were going to do that. The fact that they are still going ahead with this sort of suggests to me that Sasha and Naomi are going to come back, and them walking out is going to be a part of the story because we are pushing ahead with crowning new champions. Now, of course, when we get to the tournament, we don't know who's in it. We might have Sasha and Naomi as mystery team. You know, they might come back and end up winning the titles that they kind of walked away from. So, you know, that's one way that you could go. Or whoever wins the tournament could win the belts, and as soon as they win them, Sasha and Naomi could walk out and confront them. And so you could do something like that. Or maybe WWE will have them come through the crowd and try and do a little bit of a kind of outsiders, you know, is this a work, is it a shoot type thing? It's going to be hard to do because we've seen reports that apparently Sasha and Naomi are on their way back. So, I don't know. I'm really surprised at this. I thought they would just leave it on them. I really did. I thought they would just leave it on them. Let's pretend they never walked out. But that is not what we're doing. Big breaking news on SmackDown. Beginning on Raw. So that suggests this is going to take longer than one night. That suggests that there's going to be quite a few teams involved. Beginning on Raw, we're going to be getting this tournament. So, yeah, crazy. Crazy. Let me know which way do you think they're going to go with this? How is this going to play out? It's really interesting. It's really interesting. Absolutely not the way I thought that would go. There's so much stuff that's surprising me tonight. There's so much stuff that's going the way that I just really didn't think it would go. Okay, we are at commercial break if you are just joining us. We have got Roman making his way down. We are waiting for Drew McIntyre. Well, we're waiting to go back from commercial break. But, yeah, we have got Roman making his way down. WWE announce women's tag team tournament for starts on Raw. Surprised? Surprise, surprise! Right. Let me just put this video out there for anyone that's, you know, at work, won't have heard the news. There's obviously a lot of Sasha fans out there. There's Naomi fans as well that, you know, wanted a bit of clarity. You've already seen a few people asking that question tonight. Do we think there would be one? I said no. I'm owning it. Starts on Raw. Is a surprise because there are rumors that Sasha Banks and Naomi are due to return to WWE soon. Boop. 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 Lovely. Right, we should be going back to SmackDown. We've got 10 minutes to go. 10 minutes to go. That number again, 10. And how is this going to play out? How is this going to play out? I think that definitely means no Sasha Naomi tonight. I think people probably were under that impression anyway once we'd got past the Gauntlet match. I think if they were going to come out, people probably thought the Gauntlet match would be where it would happen. Lovely. Are you a fast typer or a slow typer? I could be quicker. Justin Mack, appreciate the support, my friend. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, dude. I hope you're enjoying Smackdown. I actually think it's been quite a good Smackdown. There's definitely a couple of things that I'm like, about. Like the Kofi bit just was a bit, I like him with the kendo stick. But I think I would have had him running away rather than staying and having a match. Yeah, maybe a little bit there. But really, it's been a really solid show. Next week, we've got Intercontinental Championship match. It's coming next week. Roman in the ring. Tag team tournament. Yeah. Crazy, isn't it? Do you think they'll do Cena Punk situation where Dakota Kai and Io win the tag title? Sasha and Naomi return and declare themselves the real champions. They could go that way. Yep, they could go that way. I mean, that'd be pretty fun, actually. I like the new CGI. It's like veins, blood. And then you've got, like, the heads. Roman in the ring. Usos in the ring. Right, let's see how this plays out, shall we? What's your favourite match from SummerSlam? Did you watch it? I did. Favourite match would be probably the main event. I mean, the main event was just incredible, spectacular, wasn't it? So... Roman is looking at the fans, looking around. That AR family tree for Bloodline is horrifying, says Jadam. It is horrifying. It looks like a... Is that what it is? A tree? I thought that it was vessels. I thought it was like bloodline. I'll have to have another look at it. The WWE Universe crowd are tools, says Horatio Mind. I'm down for Toxic Attraction winning it. Got the Usos with their hands in the air. Do you think we're going to get NXT call-ups at the women's tournament? I have no flipping idea. I don't know. I wasn't expecting a tournament. I found out about it when you found out about it. I thought that had been kicked into the long grass. Roman said there's a few things that need to be addressed. Let's talk about Brock Lesnar. There's a few boos for Brock. I don't know why. I mean, what he did at SummerSlam was incredible. I respect that man. But I still hate Brock Lesnar. We hate Brock Lesnar because he tried to kill the wise man. We don't have our special counsel. Prayers for the wise man. I don't know if Drew shares in those prayers because Drew McIntyre's music hits. Medieval metal shirt. tribal queef? Our tribal queef? It's a good line. Roman, our tribal queef. So Drew has come out. If you want Drew to tear apart the bloodline right now, let me hear you scream. The hell is that music? Oh my God, is that Carrion? Is that Carrion? Is that Carrion? Is that Carrion? That feels like Scarlett. That feels like Scarlett. Oh my God! Roman in the ring! Roman in the ring! Carrion attacks! Carrion attacks! Carrion Cross is here! Carrion Cross is here! Carrion returns! Oh, the scenes! Damn! Drew getting smashed into the ring steps! Karrion Kross returns! Karrion Kross returns! He's attacking Drew! Oh, the game changed! The game changed! Scarlett's with him as well! Ah! Yes, 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 yes! Scarlett puts the egg timer in the ring, spins it around, stares at the tribal chief! Roman's like, that's cute. That's cute. I like your egg timer. Oh, that is sick. Oh, it's sick. Oh, it's sick. Everything's sick. I feel sick. Damn. 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 Doomsday has arrived. It's the Doomsday. I love Triple H. God damn. That is sick. That is sick. It's sick. Everything's sick. Scarlett as well. Scarlett as well. I mean, look, there was big rumors earlier today that Karrion was on his way, but at no point was it said that it was going to be tonight. At no point was it said that it was imminent. But here we are. This is the world we live in. And what a world we live in. We live in a different world. We live in a different world. Oh, my God. What a moment. It's happened. Ah, the hype is real, man. The hype is real. Do you know what? It's been so long since I feel like something has happened on either Raw or SmackDown that you can genuinely, like, freak out about. That you can genuinely go, ah. But this is it. This is now. The time is now. In the words of John Cena, this is now. So goddamn good. So goddamn good. Right, I've got so much to do. I need to go. We're going to be back in 10 minutes. I might be late. I'm absolutely doing a video on Karrion. So, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed the stream. We will be back in 10 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. If I'm late, don't be like, oh, he's late. Where is it? You know where I am. You know what I'm doing, right? I ain't going off sunbathing, right? I will be there, but I need to do the Karrion video. Ah! So good. So good. Ah! Ah! Can't even talk!